834-7353 or visit moneyradio.com and click on Finance with Dylan.
KFC's new saucy nuggets are here to show you what it really means to have the sauce. These juicy hand-breaded nuggets come drenched and dripping. Get the real sauce. Try KFC's new saucy nuggets, available in Nashville Hot, Georgia Gold, Honey Sriracha, Korean Barbecue, or Sticky Chicken. Dripping in flavor. 10 pieces for just $5.99. Only at KFC. It's finger-licking good. Prices and participation may vary. Tax, tip, and fees extra.
You know, it seems like everybody's talking about the traffic on Valley Roads these days. You know what else everybody's talking about? The absolute best restaurant to take your family and friends to, Kasai Japanese Steakhouse. Now with 2 Valley locations. No one does it better than Kasai, where talented Teppanyaki chefs create the food, the fire, and the fun of teppanyaki. Kasai Japanese Steakhouse is dinnertainment at its best, where a delicious 7-course meal is prepared right at your table with flair. It's a perfect choice for any occasion. Choose from over 50 different items and combinations of teppanyaki. Looking for great dining without the show? Kasai offers an awesome selection on Asian-inspired dishes and tasty sushi. Happy hour deals daily from 6 p.m. and enjoy outdoor dining on the heated patio. So whether you're here for spring training, March Madness, or just to enjoy the Arizona sunshine, don't just take your guests to dinner. You take them to Kasai Japanese Steakhouse with 2 locations, Scottsdale and now in Peoria at the 101 in Northern. Go to KasaiTeppen.com. That's Kasai Teppen.com or search Kasai on your mobile phone.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Minimum purchase required. Interest accrues from date of purchase, but is waived if paid within promotional period. Go to windowappointmentnow.com for full offer details.
Attention homeowners. Do you know when to replace your windows? Feeling too hot or cold? Fog between the glass? Spending too much on expensive energy that literally goes out the window? It's time to replace. And right now you can get a free in-home window consultation and free price quote from Renewal by Andersen. Plus, with our spring savings event, you can buy 1 window or door and get one 40% off when you buy 4 or more units. Just text OLD to 200-300 for your free consultation on top quality affordable windows or patio doors for no dollars down, no monthly payments, and no interest for a year. That's right, you don't pay a dime for an entire year. Text OLD to 200-300 to buy 1 window or door and get one 40% off. And right now, save an extra $30 off every unit. Hurry, this incredible offer is only in April. Text OLD to 200-300. Text the word OLD to 200-300. OLD to 200-300.
Live from the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale.
Here we go.
This is KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM. All right, people, settle down. Because it's time.
Time for what? Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Friday here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. We got Keon Rose not in the control room. He's out at the convention center, hanging out with our friends from Westwood One on Radio Row for the Final Four. We'll see who he is able to grab and throw on the air with us. We can't see him right now for some reason on the camera.
Yeah, I don't know.
But, well, that's on his end. But,
yeah.
And by the way, if you're watching on YouTube, all you can see is the very sexy Randy White because, I don't know, something's not right. But then to make things even more not right, we have Ralph from Harman Solar with us. Wow. He was going to be at the convention center, but he hurt his back. He said he fell off the back of a motorcycle. I think he fell off the back of a motorcyclist. But anyway, so now we're all here.
Wow.
We're all here ready for a Friday show.
Yeah, we are.
The Daily Blender. So, we'll be working on things as we go, but what else is new? So anyway, coming up on the show, Keon's going to grab Coach Bruce Weber. We're going to talk to him, I think, about basketball and, other things, and whoever else just happens to stumble by the desk there, Keon will throw on there. But Keon being out there at the Radio Row for the Final Four is brought to you by Duluth Trading Company. That's right. Duluth Trading Company stacks your starting lineup with higher performing gear all year round, plus keeps all your zones covered and comfy online or in store. Get into Duluth today. So thank you to those guys for that. All right. So, Keon, why don't you explain to everybody where you are and what's going on there?
Yeah, no, I'm at the convention center here downtown Phoenix. They've got the Final Four set up
all down 3rd Street, basically. They've blocked it off. They've roped it off. They've got the fan experience down on the 1st floor. And so they've got all kinds of games. They've got this really cool bracket it's a 3D bracket. So one side of it is the East region. You've got the South region, the Midwest region, and you can see all the teams that have won to get to the Final Four on all 4 sides of this giant 3-dimensional bracket thing. It's pretty cool. They've got a nice event going on downstairs.
Oh, look, you can see us all on the YouTube now. You
I
guys
figured
fixed
it out.
Well done, Randy.
Nice.
I'm not as rookie as I used to be.
All right, good. I'm just glad that's taken care of.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome, America.
So here's what we're going to do, because Keon is at the convention center. At a certain point, we're going to get basically, you have to have somebody, Keon, tell one of those fellows hanging around there from Westwood One, they got to go take one of the air conditioning vents off of something, and then they got to put it next to you and then shine a light through it so you get those lines on your face like when you're in the studio.
Well, yeah, like it is from the time of 4:20 to about 4:45
Right.
every single day. It's not quite the blender without it.
Seeing you well lit is disconcerting.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
There's a lot of fluorescent lighting going on in this room. Just a ton.
Still the sexiest man at Sports Talk Radio. I don't care.
So have you seen anybody interesting come through yet? Is it all people starting to mill around or what?
Yeah, and we're kind of getting later in the day, so a lot of people are actually kind of heading out. I did see Clark Kellogg walking around.
The owner of Kellogg's Frosted Flakes.
No, not that Kellogg, but he Ohio State legend.
Disappointing.
Does a lot of broadcast stuff with the ESPYs. He was walking around.
The other guy would have been sweet to have on the air.
Hey, is there anybody official listening in on what we're doing right now?
I don't think so.
Okay,
no.
good, because I got to ask a question.
Okay.
You're at the Phoenix Convention Center.
Yes.
But the actual game is over at Cardinal Stadium, also known as State Farm Stadium.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So I have this right.
You have this correctly.
So why is this party in the middle of Phoenix when everything is over there in Glendale? I'm trying to figure this out.
Yeah, I just think that the when they think of Phoenix, I think people like nationally, they just think of one place. But because Phoenix is pretty large, I guess the fan experience stuff, kind of the layout of it, just made more sense in the central location.
Well, you
of
are
Phoenix.
really trying on that answer, aren't you?
Yeah.
Look, you're asking. No one told me, so I'm
trying awful hard.
That's awfully nice of
Look,
you.
man, I'm putting on the hat of the person who made this decision and said, okay, what would they have been thinking when they decided
right
this?
over there.
Yeah.
Just saying.
But they did that in the Super Bowl too.
Did they really?
Yeah, that's what they
Yeah.
did.
And, and this is not the only city this happens in. A lot of times they'll have an event in one part of the city, but then the convention center might be where like setting up all the radio people, all of the media people, what makes the most sense.
I feel like more
for the
people
week.
should consult with me because I feel like I've got some good ideas.
Well, that's true.
Just saying. By the way, here's what it's going to look like in the State Farm Stadium. That is not a joke picture. That is real. That little tiny brown spot, that is the court in the middle of there with 17 million chairs.
Well, that makes sense.
Well, I mean, it's a basketball court.
Don't ever let the NCAA tell you they don't make money. Holy God, look at that setup.
Oh, of course, the game is so big it has to be in a football stadium. Of
It
course, they're making money.
It really doesn't. I really wish they would put this in
don't
an actual the
Well,
arena or something.
It's not just one game. It's 3 games, right? It's the
There's
final 4
one,
games.
One itty bitty court.
But it's 3 games over the weekend, right? It's
yeah.
And then on Monday, it all cumulates. Cumulating on Monday.
It all ends up.
What is that
It all
word?
finishes.
Accumulating on Monday.
Cumulate.
No.
We're not inventing a new word that sounds like that. I'll tell you that right now.
Please, dear God.
Well, anyway, so I just was wondering so you could tell me. So, all right. I'm not satisfied with the answer.
I never got a good explanation on it myself, so
That's fine.
that's the best I can do.
Let's go to the text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live from the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale. Of course, Big George is up first and says a bunch of crap I'm not going to repeat because tired of that. But he does say, great to have Jeffrey back. Still think so? He says, you want to hear the funniest thing I heard today? Bronny James declaring for the NBA draft. Does he actually think he's going to get drafted? Here's the thing. He did two things. He declared for the draft and also entered the transfer portal.
Right.
He's hedging his bets on how that thing is going to go. We'll talk more about that a little bit later. Cole Pappy says, "Happy Friday, Daily Blender." How did we name Cole Pappy?
I don't know.
That's a cool name.
Cole
nickname.
Pappy?
Cole Pappy. Makes me think of the guy with like a corn cob pipe.
Doesn't
It's Cole Pappy.
Doesn't ring any bells with me.
And he's a newer texter from
Oh, no kidding.
Oh, no, he's not. I guess he's been around for a while. Anyway, Hefty Lefty says, Randy's in the control room.
Oh, yeah. It don't get no better than this right
He
here.
says, what a throwback. That's
Yeah.
right. Randy used to run the show back before COVID.
Decades ago. Yeah.
For some reason, ever since COVID, we haven't trusted him with buttons. Ralph has crabs.
Can we change that one? Every time I listen to the show and hear that, I think you're talking to me, and then I hear that. It's like, no. That
He
needs
hears
to change.
Ralph, and you go,
You said-
yes,
you said
has
you're-
crabs. Oh, never mind.
No, I said I was not okay.
He was going to change it for you. Then you were mean to him, and then you decided to keep it.
Can we block
Yeah.
him?
Can't block him.
Why not?
He hasn't done anything
No.
block-worthy.
Yeah, his name is not worthy.
Don't you dare block him. Ralph has crabs
Oh,
says, "Hey, my namesake's finally back on the show."
See, there we go.
Ralph hurt his back on a motorcycle. Was he wearing assless chaps? No, that's Radio Ron, because
that's his, bicycle
Oh,
group,
boy.
right?
Radio Ron
Yeah, Sons of
wears,
Apathy.
yeah, the Sons of Apathy electric bicycle gang. They're out there, little e-bikes, raising heck.
Raising
That's right.
Raising heck and drinking wine.
Donnie says, "Happy Final Four and WrestleMania weekend, boys." Well, you're half right.
WrestleMania.
Yeah, we're not even interested in fake wrestling. Bruno Baller says, "Did Ralph catch that Dodgers loss to the Cubs today?"
I did. 9-7, yeah.
We will talk more about the Dodgers later because, things. Oily Stool says, "Nice to hear you guys back on air." Are we actually on air?
Are we?
I think we're at least on 15A the Fanatic.
Looks
right?
like we are, yeah. Yeah, I think we are.
He says, "Yesterday I tuned in to listen to Seton Hall beat Indiana on the NIT. Don't even know what the NIT is. Why did you broadcast that?"
So, contractually obligated.
That's how we got the rest of all these games. is
Yeah.
Playing some things we didn't want to.
Right.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Pro Bowl.
I'm not even going to talk about the NIT because you guys don't care. Does anybody want? I mean, does somebody want some? I mean, I'll make Keon do it.
It was
I'll
a
make
good
him
game.
give you a breakdown of the NIT.
It was a good game.
Sure it was.
I can't give you a breakdown of the NIT.
Yeah, even see, here's the thing. Keon loves basketball and college basketball so much that if he's just like, I didn't watch the game, that tells you how bad it must have been. You didn't watch
I
that.
thought it was a good game.
I actually thought the game was going to be good. It just wasn't a priority for me to watch it.
What were you like watching? Were you just
I went out with my girlfriend.
see?
I have to choose between my girlfriend and Indiana State. I'm going to
Choose-
choose my girlfriend. That's
Choose wisely, Padawan learner.
easy decision.
Mm-hmm.
Simple decision.
If it had
wasn't
been
even
the
hard.
Final Four, if it had been the NCAA championship, you'd have been like, "Hey, honey,
yeah.
let's do a thing together." And
Yeah,
you'd even end up watching the game.
Yeah, I tell her when the sporting events are coming up in advance that I can't do this one. I'm sorry.
Have you learned, and I'm sure you have you learned how to take her out on a date, but position her where over her shoulder you can see the game?
That's the oldest move in the book.
Yeah,
man.
on a TV somewhere.
All right.
As long as you've got that straight,
Yeah.
she knows.
And if you take her somewhere that's not obviously a sports bar but has a TV,
yes,
yeah, that's the best one.
it's all about making sure that you don't constantly stare at it and make eye contact
Oh,
with
yeah.
her.
Yeah.
And then, at least you can check on the game. Mr. Wilbur says, "Wait a second, Keon, get a photo with Snap, Crackle, and Pop since you're right there next to Mr. Kellogg."
Yeah, right? That's what I'm saying.
No, Clark Kellogg is not Harvey
I
Kellogg,
mean, I
the
can't
actual
believe
founder
that
of
Mr.
Kellogg's.
Kellogg is roaming around. Why would he be at a basketball tournament? That's what I want to know.
Well, because this guy was a basketball player. That's why.
I didn't
This
know
is
that.
not the same guy. Not the
Is that why
Kellogg
he came
cereal
out
guy.
with Special K?
You'll have to ask. You'll have to ask the actual Kellogg's
Because,
people.
very
Not
athletic.
Clark.
you know,
to be
I
fair.
had some Special K the other day, and they
Did
had to freeze dried strawberries in them.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
those got to be man-made.
Oh,
I don't
boy.
think
Don't
those
like
are
those?
real. I don't care for that. I'll just go with a straight bowl of Wheaties
I
next
wonder
time.
if they can make strawberries out of plants
Oh.
like they do hamburgers.
What are you, some kind of hippie? Pineapple Express says, Jeffrey, this happens all the time. When the Super Bowl's in LA, it wasn't actually in LA, it was in Inglewood. Same with the Super Bowl in New York City. That was, in fact, in a different state. It was in New Jersey. So Phoenix hosting the NCAA Final Four and Super Bowl when it's in Glendale, not a big deal. Oh, I didn't think it was a big deal. I didn't go. So I was just curious, Didn't bother me.
I think the thing we're questioning is why is Radio Row downtown Phoenix and the games and all the activities.
The Radio Row could be right over there.
Should be in Glendale, don't you think?
Probably because everybody's be hanging around partying. So that's the best time.
Well, isn't the fan experience at the convention center? Or
Yeah.
no?
Yeah.
Well, there's a fan experience there, but as I was driving into the ranch today, and I was leaving the complex out there in the West Valley, there's there's a giant Ferris wheel. There's all sorts of games and stuff there at the stadium as I was driving by there on the 101. So they've got it going in both places.
Seems like it's just a giant party here in the Valley for whatever. Is WrestleMania here too? I don't know anything about the fake wrestling.
I suppose. Yeah.
Because I don't know why Donnie was saying that he was looking forward to it.
And I saw the UFC 300 sign out somewhere as well. So I don't know if that's
UFC 300 is here.
Yes.
Well, that's cool. It's real fighting. Yeah. Here's the thing, Donnie, I'm surprised, didn't lead with the fact that the Timberwolves and the Suns are playing at 7 p.m. Now, Donnie, a big Suns hater and a big Timberwolves fan who's talked an awful lot of crap. Well, the Timberwolves play us twice. We play them tonight at 7 p.m. Then the last game of the season on Sunday, April 14th at noon 30 p.m. So I'm surprised he's not talking a lot of garbage about that.
Maybe he's taking your warning finally about his karma.
He's got to see it happening. I mean, I see it almost every day on Twitter. Something bad is happening to the teams he loves because of all the garbage he talks. Oh, here's Donnie. He says, big Timberwolves Suns game tonight. Yeah. See, I think he has, or else he'd be saying something horrible right there.
There'd be some trash talk associated with that.
I think he's learning his lesson slowly.
Fifth letter says, just drove through Westgate and State Farm. The atmosphere, pretty cool. All four fan bases, walking around. A lot of Final Four pop-up tents, merchandise, salon area where the MGM Bet Sportsbook is at. Looks pretty happening. Radio Row should be there.
I'm just
saying.
Well, we have a lot of fans. You could say the same thing here. There are a lot of fans walking around out here. The NC State fans are out in force. There are a couple of Arizona fans that I think are lost. They're not in the Final Four. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know why they're here.
They're working concessions.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why. Gotcha. Yeah. So no, there are tons of fans out here too. The whole fan experience here is packed. People are walking around and having a good time. So, it makes sense here since they also put a thing here.
Big George says, Jeffrey, I have a question for you. What do you think about Torey Lovullo mismanaging the designated hitter against the Yankees on Wednesday?
Big George, let it go.
He should never have pinch hit Jace Peterson for Blaze Alexander.
Let it go.
Only Big George would get hung up on a bad decision made in literally the seventh game of a Major League Baseball
He's been
season.
stewing about that since it happened.
Why did it have to be against the Yankees? That's all I'm saying. Why? I mean, we lost that little series to the Yankees, and that aggravates me.
I was working, so I didn't get to see the game, but from the sounds of it, it's just he didn't seem to have much of a choice there.
And here's the thing. If you're in a ball game and you're in extra innings, don't stand there and watch a called third strike. My God, that drives me crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody in an extra inning game and you stand there and get a called third strike, don't do that. Don't. That's the only. I could say that. Swing the bat. Make an effort.
That's easier said than done.
Oh, my God.
You know that.
Oh, the ball was right down the plate.
If you're sitting fastball and they throw a breaking ball, you know they're going to freeze.
You'd rather see a whiff.
Come on, man. You're a baseball guy.
Swing the bat. Swing it.
Come on.
That's why the Dodgers never win the World Series. Wow.
We'll see this year.
Pinocchio says Ronnie declared himself eligible. Yeah. We're going to talk about that a little bit. He says, wait a second. I didn't know the G League had a draft.
Wow.
That's good, Pinocchio.
Wow.
Ralph has crabs.
Oh, my God.
Says, sorry, Ralph.
Gotta go, man.
Sorry, Ralph, that my texture nickname offends you. But once I heard you were a Dodgers and a USC fan instead of a Mariners and UW fan, the choice was easy to keep this name. Also, you insulted me.
I do like the Mariners, and I do like UW. So
Don't
how did
listen to
how
him.
did I insult you?
He's just
Oh,
trying
you
to get
did
out
that
of
day,
having
I
that
remember.
name. That's what
Did I
he's
insult
trying
him
to
that day?
Yeah, and if you didn't, I remembered I convinced him.
He's
you
a
did.
Seahawk fan, right?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I don't like
Yeah,
all Seahawk
yeah.
fans. So this just proves I don't like all Seahawk fans.
Listen, you're not helping. He might change his name to something else.
You
if
won't let him because you enjoy saying it.
I really do.
I blame you more than him.
Fair enough. But he actually was going to change his name. It was his decision not to because you were rude to
Yeah,
him.
and you didn't prompt him at all.
I don't remember.
No, I really don't remember either.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yo, you know about that.
Yeah.
Megatron says the wrestling is in Philly. Says fan experience downtown Phoenix because Phoenix, in air quotes, is the host city of the Final Four, just like the Super Bowl. Thank you. Walter Mellon says, hey guys, not sure if anybody brought it up yet or not. 99.3 is out. Listening on the app, coming in strong. Oh, great. Fantastic. Is Radio Ron nearby?
He is not.
Oh, okay. I'll send somebody a message.
Bounced as soon as he could.
Is 1580 on the air? Yeah. He's like, you all good, Keon? Yep. There's drinking to be had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those were literally the last words he said before I went on air.
I've
got to buy some beers. Those were his words.
You're on your own, Keon.
Good night.
Good luck getting a guest.
Oh no, wait, hold on. He's still here.
Thanks for the heads up, Walter Mellon. They let him know 99.3 is off. Hefty Lefty says downtown is going to be a madhouse all day, all night. Fan experience, first Friday in Roosevelt Row, Suns game at 7. I don't envy Keon trying to leave that area.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, well, now he's there. We can say that.
Yeah.
Keon's like, why aren't Randy and Jeffrey going?
Oh, I knew why. I mean,
yeah.
One of us had to brave traffic, and apparently it was just me. We didn't even draw straws. It was just like, no, Keon, you're going.
Yeah. That's kind of the way it is with a little brother.
Ralph was going to go, but
I'm kind of glad I hurt my back now that I'm thinking about it.
How did you hurt your back for real, by the way?
Lifting. I lift and I was doing a heavy weight.
I don't think it's called
and my lower back
lifting
popped.
when you're just getting off the toilet.
No, I lift and just doing a heavy weight and my back popped on Monday.
All right.
So I'm actually able to stand up straight now, so it's actually okay.
It's the only straight thing about
Yeah,
it.
I knew that was coming.
We got to take a break. When we come back, we got to talk some Phoenix Suns basketball. We got to talk some Diamondbacks baseball. We got to talk some Coyotes and figuring out what the hell's going on. A little bit worried about that situation. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Get insights into the sports betting market with VSiN's betting splits. See where the money is and keep updated on how the market is reacting. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
NBA, the Phoenix Suns home tonight as they take on the Cleveland Cavaliers. Phoenix a 6-point home favorite, minus 108 against the spread, while the Cavaliers are minus 112, getting the 6 points. Cleveland plus 194 on the money line. Phoenix minus 245. The over-under sitting at 226. The over minus 112. The under minus 108. Also tonight, Boston, the top team in the East, taking on Oklahoma City, one of the top teams in the West. Celtics, a 9-point home favorite, minus 370 on the money line. Oklahoma City plus 295 with the over-under of 231.5. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
We're going abroad for the first time in years to Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8695. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-8695. That's 800-575-8695. Tax Relief Advocates, real solutions for real people.
Hi, guys. Jeffrey O'Brien here. Have you ever gone to HarmonSolar.com? Well, you really need to, because everything you ever wanted to know about how solar power can save you big on your monthly electric bill is right there. It's online. Through your phone or through your computer, you can learn about tax credits, the equipment they use, look at how they do things for businesses as well as homeowners, see testimonials from happy customers, and I hear they got a pretty good podcast too. Check it out. Go to HarmonSolar.com. That's HarmonSolar.com.
Serving on a jury is your constitutional right. So when you get your jury summons in the mail, respond and put your rights to work. It's really that simple. Arizona has increased juror pay. If your company doesn't pay for jury service and you're picked to serve in Superior Court, you will get paid your lost wages up to $300 per day. Our courts are fair because you are there. Learn more at azcourts.gov/jury service. This message is sponsored by the Arizona Supreme Court.
The dictionary describes madness as
frenzy, rage, intense excitement, or enthusiasm.
We define it like this.
There's the pass to Leitner.
Puts it up. Injects the Drew for the win.
The madness is coming.
God! Oh! Comes out, dribble.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
The home for March Madness.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. So North Carolina State taking on Purdue, Alabama taking on UConn. It's the Final Four of the NCAA championship. And of course, we've got both those games right here on 1580 The Fanatic on Saturday. I guess the first game is going to be on at noon, and the second game is going to be on, I don't know, around 3 o'clock, something like that. Anyways, both games.
Thought it was 4.
I don't know.
Is it 4?
I don't know. It's on here. So if it's on,
it's on the station.
Yeah, that's all you need to know.
Yeah.
Quit asking me questions. I'm
right.
Just got bored.
Just stop it.
Yeah. Anyway, so we'll talk about those games in depth a little bit later on. We'll have Keon Rose's college basketball dance party. And then when there is the championship game, it will also be here on 1580 The Fanatic.
On the flamethrower.
Yeah. We're, I think we're the only local radio station at Radio Row because we're your NCAA radio station.
Yeah, I find it kind of troubling that Keon's down there and he had a folder earlier and he was passing out what looked to be
resumes.
Resumes. I'm
had
not
a
sure.
what?
A folder of like a dossier, sort of. You pulled it out of your backpack there. I saw you walking. It looked like a resume to me. I'm not. Is there any truth to that, Mr. Rose?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, wow.
What do you mean?
Mm-hmm.
He's looking for a paying
He
job.
has this opportunity to network. You see what I'm saying, Jeffco?
Well, if there had been any Arizona radio stations there other than ours, then he would have probably had it in crayon because.
Oh my gosh.
Well, you know how the other radio stations are.
Oh, no.
Anyway. Yeah. So, in the 5 o'clock hour, we'll have Keon Rose's college basketball dance party. And, here's my schedule right here. So, broadcast for the Final Four starts at 1:30 p.m. here on 1580 The Fanatic. So, then after it's done, it's done. That's when it works. Whenever the games are on, they're on. Radio Ron says there'll be 3 p.m. and 5:45 p.m. tomorrow. Didn't I kind of say that? I kind of said that.
I think you did. Yeah.
Ralph has crabs. Says, does Radio Ron have to climb the radio antenna tower to fix 99.3? Like Clark Griswold and Christmas Vacation?
We can only hope. I mean, talk about legendary.
He'd do it.
Yeah, he would.
He'd do it. Mars Bars 805 says, happy Faded Friday, guys. I'm in the truck listening to 99.3 FM in North Phoenix. I'll take an 805, please, and go Lakers. Suns in 4. I think he's mocking us.
Go Lakers.
The fan of the team, that might not even be in the play-in.
Yeah.
What
is heckling us?
Why would you even say that?
What?
Well, why would I even say that? There
Say
is a
what?
possibility.
No,
that
there
you
really
guys,
isn't.
yeah,
No.
you guys, the only
No,
people
the-
who have
The
clinched
possibility
anything.
you won't be in there either.
No, the Phoenix Suns have clinched being in at least the
Play
play-in.
in.
That
That's probably where you're
even
gonna
if
be,
they
Tibbs.
lose every single game, they will still be in the play-in.
Really.
So the Lakers, not so much.
What are you talking about?
The Lakers have not
If you
clinched
lose out,
being
you
in
won't
play-in.
be in.
If we lose out, would you like to put a bet on that?
No one's putting a bet on that. We're saying it's statistically possible.
Oh, okay.
We'll bet you if you actually make it. If you actually
It's-
make it to
All
a
that
play-in.
money
You know,
the Suns
don't-
spent, you made the play-in round. Congratulations.
All that money the Lakers have been spending.
Just talking.
Okay, can we go
Yeah,
ahead and
like, it's just
compare the
like-
spending of the Lakers versus the Suns?
You're paying
yeah, we
Anthony
can.
Davis and LeBron James. Are you serious right now?
I am.
Okay. I just can't believe you.
Wow.
You're in your glass house throwing the biggest rocks
My house is
imaginable.
not made of glass.
It's made entirely of glass.
You've never seen it.
It's the most see-through building in existence.
Mm.
Oh, wow.
And you are heaving massive rocks through.
Did you say Ralph is wearing something see-through?
Ooh.
Well, I said the building was.
Randy,
Oh,
Randy, can you
sorry.
cut his mic?
Excuse me?
Cut his mic.
I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
Cut his mic and drop his camel.
I can't
for the
hear
first
you over
time,
the
I
sound of my
actually-
paycheck.
I'm at the mercy of somebody else.
I'll pay you double. Cut it.
Oh, well, do I hear 3 times?
I'm not going to stop you from making some money. You just do what you got to do.
I cut his mic. I might need every penny I could get.
So the Timberwolves are in first place in the Western Conference,
Mhm.
and the Nuggets are right behind them. And okay, so we're playing the Timberwolves twice before the end of everything, and I need a realistic look at this situation because I feel like I think we could split this with them. I'm confident we can split it with the Timberwolves. I know that Timberwolves probably the best team in basketball right now. I don't know the Nuggets. I don't know. Well, who's the best team in basketball right now?
You think the Timbers?
I think it's Boston.
I was going to say that
in the
too.
West.
But in
Oh,
the West,
It's Minnesota and Denver.
Shut up, Ralph. Let Keon answer.
Well, I got ahead of him in the picking thing, so he's terrible.
So Denver, I would say Denver. Just being a much more well-rounded team. The different ways that the Nuggets can beat you. I don't know.
That's the
that
same Denver
Timberwolves
we've
have
beat
been-
at home like twice, right?
Yeah, the same Denver.
Okay, go ahead.
But I do like the Timberwolves a lot, and like there's still this possibility that you have one of those Anthony Edwards games where he's just going crazy. I don't know what you're supposed to do. I do not have answers for Anthony Edwards, and it doesn't seem like a whole lot of the league does either.
So let's get back to the Timberwolves. Oh my God, Donnie says finally something I agree with what Jeffrey said. With we can split it. What are you
Or
agreeing
the
with? Donnie?
Timberwolves might be the best team in basketball.
Oh, that part. Okay, do
No.
you think we can split with the Timberwolves? Or do you think they're going to get our lunch both times?
I think you split. I think they win the game here tonight, and then Minnesota when they play up there. I think that's the
last game of the
last
season,
game of
isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's a hard place to win in lately. So
You think they won't care and just put out the scrubs?
well, if they've got everything locked up already, maybe.
I guess depending on where we
But
are, we might do the same thing.
But they might be playing for that number 1 seed as well. It just depends on how they want to play that.
So tonight's the good game. That last game of the season, I guess we'll see.
May or may not be, depending on how things shake out.
Radio Ron is on the text line, says, I didn't want to say anything, but Keon broke 99.3. How did you do it from there, Keon?
I have no idea. Am I a psychic now? Can I not control my own
Keon,
powers?
we give you a little responsibility. You take down the FM. Wow.
I honestly thought we were going to blame Eddie, the guy sitting next to Keon down there at the convention center. If there's a troublemaker around, it's that
Eddie.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Ralph Has Crabs says, wow, I knew Ralph Has Crabs, but I also didn't know he was delusional about the LA Lakers.
Just every time you read that, Ralph's face looks like he just took a big bite of like a lemon or something.
There's got to be a ruling on this.
It's going to get worse. He says,
Radio
no.
Ron, we need a ruling.
Ralph Has Crabs says, no self-respecting Seahawks fan is also a Lakers fan. It's the Seattle Supersonics all the way.
Wait till Ralph Has Crabs finds out about the Rams thing.
Oh, yeah.
Do you pull for the Supersonics now? Do you?
What Rams thing?
That Ralph's
Ralph's
also roots for the
secondary team.
Rams.
His secondary
Oh,
team.
yeah, the
You know.
bandwagoning thing he does.
NFC West division rival, also the Rams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's his secondary team.
We've gone into this explanation. I'm not doing it again.
I know. I get the explanation. It's not that I fail to understand
He's
it.
a bandwagon son bitch.
I just still think it's crazy.
So Big George says, I think my frustration also stems from the fact it was against the Yankees. He's not getting over it at all.
No.
He says, I'll get over it, but it does remind me why I wanted Torey Lovello fired in the past. Mismanagement of his lineup and bullpen.
Game 7. That's all.
Oh my gosh.
I want to get back to talking about the basketball is what I'm trying to do here. So, all right. So we what are the chances we actually keep the 6th slot, Keon? That we don't fall into a play-in.
I mean, the way they've been playing lately is good.
Yeah, last 2 games they've been on fire. They've been moving the ball. They've been playing good basketball.
Let's take a look then. We beat the Cavaliers.
6 of their last 8, I think.
So Timberwolves twice. You think we can split that? We got the Clippers twice. Do we split with them?
I mean, I think you could just beat the Clippers.
Beat them. You think we can beat them 2 times in a row, 2 days in a row?
Yeah, they've been struggling lately. That's not a team that's playing their best basketball. If they
Speaking of struggling,
if they were, I would say, you would hope to split it, try not to lose them both, but they're not playing their best basketball right now. So I think that the Suns are, and so they shouldn't split it. I think they should win both of those games.
How about the Pelicans? Can we just beat them again?
Yes.
Yeah. Especially if Zion's going to have the finger be an issue that's holding him back. I think he's still going to try and play, but he already wasn't the same player with the finger broken. So we'll see how that affects his game. But I just think Zion being the point guard there has been a really good thing for the Pelicans. And when he's not 100%, I think it really hurts that team a lot.
How about the Kings?
Kings are tough. I think maybe you drop that one just because that's a home game for Sacramento, right?
So you're saying we are going to split this entire rest of the season. It's going to be a split. 3 games for, 3 games against.
Could be very, very good. Very good.
Yeah, there's a good chance.
Very big possibility.
And if you do that,
do we stay in the number 6 position that way?
It depends on what happens with the Pelicans and the Mavs.
Yeah, it sounds like a no.
And how they play. The Pelicans don't play well when Zion's not out there. It's just the way that thing has looked the last couple of months.
Well, and the last time he was out there, we still beat him pretty handily.
Yeah, but that was also the game where he got injured. But yeah, the Suns were on their way to beating them regardless, I think. But
so I want the Suns to maintain the 6 because I'm a Suns fan. But I also kind of like the idea of the Suns removing the Lakers again in the play-in and sending them home. Like they have done in the past.
Suns are going to lose 4 of the last 6, and they're going to be in the playing round. Let's be realistic.
Yeah, well,
that's reality.
The guy that said 2 weeks ago that the Lakers would have caught the Suns by now,
right there,
you are simply not correct about that. That did not happen. Okay, they're right there, but did they catch them, Ralph?
All right, I'm telling you, the season got 6 games left.
We'll see. But you said 2 weeks ago, in 2 weeks, the Lakers will catch the Suns.
Ian, why is your mic still on?
Let me just say,
Ralph,
my
mic
mic
is on because I'm right.
Ralph, your Lakers have been sent home by the Suns more than a 26-year-old gets sent home by Leonardo DiCaprio for being too old.
Good heavens.
That is how often we've sent you home.
Okay, let's see what happens. That mediocre Sun team. That
I'm
can't
trying
even make
to
the playoffs outside of the playoff run.
Laugh professionally in this
That's fine.
room of.
I mean, you guys have been talking about how great they are all year, and here we are playing room.
Nobody said how great they are. It's been a frustration all year around.
Yeah, and for me, avoiding the play-in, having a chance to avoid the play-in in this Western Conference, I don't think means that you're a bad team. This Western Conference is loaded. In the East, you're about to have 2 teams maybe in that play-in game that aren't above 500. There are no teams in that position in the Western Conference.
So you're saying the play-in teams in the West are good teams?
Yeah.
Okay.
Except for the Lakers.
See, no.
I'm not making an exception for the Lakers. Like I was razzing you, but I
am.
The Lakers are a good team. I don't know that they're a contender, but that's a good team.
The Rockets are floating around there at the bottom. They won't get in, right?
As long as they don't face
they won't get in, but they're a good team.
They are just floating around there, kind of close. Anyway,
but yeah.
So let's talk about let's talk about what's his name? Hold on a second. What's his name? Terry Eason. Terry Eason. He's on the Rockets. Speaking of, and he is equal to Donnie.
Terry Eason is?
Yes. Let me tell you why.
All right.
Terry Eason He shows up at this game. The Rockets were playing the Warriors. He was injured, so he's sitting out. He's got a T-shirt on that says, Warriors, come out to play. He's got that T-shirt.
Yeah. Good shirt.
And the Warriors destroyed the Rockets.
Oh, yeah.
Just absolutely destroyed them. And all the Warriors players are looking over at him like, what are you wearing at? Well, if you're going to troll, at least you're not even playing. If you want to back it up, you back it up on the court. Your team just lost 133 to 110. And so they were mocking him. Steph Curry got some bottles on his fingers, some plastic bottles, and started doing this when they were kicking their ass. And Klay Thompson and Draymond, everybody was just like, okay, well, that's great. You want to play, but, maybe you should be playing before you troll. That just reminded me of Donnie so much.
Well, it's not that you should be playing before you troll. It's just you should be playing at all. He's not really.
Even when he is playing.
Yeah, I mean, even when he's when you look at the people who are the focal point of the Rockets, it's it's Jalen Green, it's Alperen Şengün.
Who?
That guy.
Alperen Şengün.
Yeah,
sounds like a villain from a Bond movie or something.
Maybe, but he's a good basketball player, and
and now, Mr. Bond, you're going to die.
We have to stop the shin grip.
But I don't think anybody's worried about Terry Eason.
Well, Terry Eason at least was smart enough that after they got their asses kicked mightily by the Warriors, that when they left the arena, he just had nothing on but a leather vest. He just suddenly that T-shirt disappeared. So
yeah,
wonder what happened.
Smart on his part.
Just,
it backfired.
Dumb on their part. All right, so let's take a break. I got a couple more NBA things to talk about before we shift gears and talk a little Major League Baseball. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save.
Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Febreze. So my home is also my office. And before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up and spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
80% of youth in Arizona don't drink, smoke, or use drugs. Want to know the reason why? It's you. Kids say not disappointing their parents is one of the main reasons they choose not to drink or use drugs. Visit TalkNowAZ.com because while you might worry you aren't getting through, you are. Keep it up and stay up to date about the latest Arizona drug trends at TalkNowAZ.com. This message is sponsored by the Substance Abuse Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
Steve Jurich here. After working in financial services for over 20 years, I finally confirmed what investors really want, including me. And it's simple. All they're asking for is 20% annual return with no risk at 100% liquidity. Here's the problem. A money market is safe and liquid, but offers almost zero yield. Mutual funds and ETFs are liquid with upside potential, but aren't safe. A carefully selected next-generation index annuity through IQ Wealth may offer 10% ample liquidity, principal protection, and a lifetime income yield potentially double to triple that of quality bonds. By yielding more income using fewer dollars, our system allocates more money for you for capital growth. It's a winning combination.
Call leading annuity authority Steve Jurich now, 480 480-902-3333. Guarantees rely on the claims paying ability of the insurer, so compare with Steve. 480-902-3333. Call Steve now.
So, what's your favorite thing about sports? The excitement, the action, or the 5-meat pizza and the six-pack?
Bingo.
That's what we thought.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
The Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Oh, boy. So I'm just minding my own business, as we so often do.
Yep.
And I look out the window, and what the hell? It's raining.
Yeah.
Why is it raining?
Oh, wet stuff coming from the sky here.
There was no rain in the forecast. I washed
none.
my vehicle today.
Yeah.
Now I got to go back and see if it has a one of those things where you can go back and wash it again if it rains.
Did you take it to a washing place?
Yeah. Well, you
Car
did
wash?
wash it myself?
Well, yeah.
No.
You're a manly man.
It's not
I
bikini
would-
weather yet.
Well, that is true.
So, so what the hell's going on? Can you give me a weather forecast? Because I
okay.
did not see this coming.
From the 1580 The Fanatic Carbon Solar Weather Center, Chief Meteorologist Randy White. Yeah, drizzle conditions right now, 63 degrees. The rain looks to be stopping here shortly. Unexpected. Some clouds. Going to get breezy later on this afternoon. And then tomorrow, 65 for your high. 72 on Sunday. Ooh. I'm not going to say this out loud, but it's going to be up to the 90s next weekend. 90s. Jeffrey didn't hear that. It's beautiful skies, kind of a spring-like weather here in the Valley of the Sun. Again, drizzly, 63, rain stopping soon. From the Harman Solar 1580 The Fanatic Weather Center, Chief Meteorologist Randy White. Back to you, Jeff. Go.
Thank you, Randy. So Keon is on Radio Row with our friends from Westwood One over at the Phoenix Convention Center for the Final Four. And his being there is brought to you by NHTSA. Using your phone while you're driving could kill someone. Put the phone away or pay. Paid for by NHTSA. Anyway.
Like that.
It's very quick thing.
I like that read. That was gold.
I mean, I figure if there's not a lot to read, then you put a little drama behind it.
I love that.
Put your goddamn phone away.
Yeah, see? Right there. Emphasis. Right there.
Intense.
Tell them what to do. Right
See what
there.
I mean? We need some sort of like trailer music. Dun, 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 dun.
Put your goddamn phone away. Yeah, I think it feels good. We just go with that.
I think we should.
By the way, the Weekend Warriors show is back tomorrow. And Ralph, I saw this post. And I saw on there you said, no Caitlin Clark talk.
Yes.
What you got against Clay? What do you have against her?
Well, I think Neil has this fascination with her. It's kind of getting a little creepy.
Yeah.
He talks about her every show.
Neil does?
Yeah.
Neil
really,
has, it's
and
been
disturbing.
It's been weeks. Neil brings up Caitlin Clark every single week to the point of it's a lot.
It's disturbing.
It's not that you can't talk about Caitlin Clark. It's specifically Neil. Neil shouldn't.
I feel like he might have a sweaty librarian fetish. She kind of has that. Like she looks like a librarian who just got a little sweaty.
Maybe.
But I feel like he went to the Hy-Vee and stole one of her cardboard cutouts. And it's in his room.
Hy-Vee?
Yeah, up in Iowa, they have Hy-Vees supermarkets.
How do you know this stuff, right?
I spent time in the Midwest.
Ralph is a well-traveled man.
Wow. Neil has HIV.
HIV?
I just think he has a cardboard cutout of her in his room somewhere.
Seems like that's like breaking
It's
news.
okay. Just depends on where the holes are cut. What? I mean, I feel like it makes a difference.
I feel it does too, especially if there's a camera in there.
Right. So it's probably best we don't know. Anyway.
And poor Neil goes
So-
down in flames once again.
So of course you're talking about the Final Four tomorrow. Are you doing
Yeah,
that?
we're doing the Final Four. We're going to talk. We have a lot of baseball news to get into. Probably going to start, setting up the NBA playoffs too, and the NHL playoffs all coming up here real soon. So there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot going on right now.
Hey, what's your best Arizona sports moment tournament bracket thing? What is it? What is it down to now?
It's I believe we're in the second round. I think we're down to the. Let me see. We had the 16-8. So this last week, people were voting on the final 8. So we'll get down to the final 4 tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's actually a pretty cool little thing.
Is
So,
Luis Gonzalez
he made the Elite 8.
He didn't make the Final Four?
No, he made the. I don't know yet. We'll find out tomorrow.
I'm just never going to listen to your show again if he doesn't win the whole
Well, the
damn
voting
thing.
goes through today, so we'll see if he makes it. But the Rattlers got knocked out in the first round, so I know that.
Well, I mean,
oh no,
the only multiple world championship team we have in the Valley.
Yeah, but the fix is kind of in. I don't want to go there. Anyway, so let's talk about Bronny James going into the draft and the transfer portal all at the same time.
Yay!
So Andy Enfield left USC for SMU, and I guess now the USC hired Eric Musselman. So maybe he's feeling like he needs to take his talents somewhere else, his 4.8 points a game talents, because I'm sure that's why he's going to be in big demand, not because his dad is LeBron James.
I mean, that's going to help a lot, but I don't even think that's why he's trying to transfer out. A lot of these guys, when they go to a school, they commit to a coach. I mean, you want to say the school did it, but no, the coach did it, and they committed to that coach. So when the coach is the person who's moving on, then that loyalty to that school is not necessarily there.
Do you think Andy Enfield is going to bring Bronny James with him?
I think he's going to try to convince him, but I don't think it's going to work.
I feel kind of bad for Bronny James, though. Everybody's going to be analyzing every move he makes because he's LeBron James' son. You know what I mean? I don't feel bad for like oh, poor Bronny James. I'm just saying this kid is, no matter what he does, it's going to be the wrong thing, don't you? I mean, that's the way I believe. Everybody's going to have some criticism about what he's doing.
Lots of coaches leave and go to other schools, and players enter the transfer portal afterwards and either follow that coach or go somewhere else, maybe to their second or third option when that coach is no longer available. But because it's Bronny, I think you're right, Randy. Like he's going to get a lot more scrutiny for making a decision a bunch of other kids make.
I don't know why he would declare for the draft though this early.
That's a mistake.
Well,
because he wants to play with his dad if there's an opportunity, I think.
Yeah,
well, is his dad say? Is this something that his dad is maybe leaning on him about? Hey, I'm going to be retiring soon, and Ronnie really wants to play alongside his dad.
As far as I understand it, if you don't hire an agent, there is a point in the process where you can actually pull your name back out.
Right.
So you can get evaluated, you can talk to scouts, you can see kind of how the process works and see where you're valued. Do people think you have a lot of upside? Okay, no, it doesn't look like I would get drafted. You can pull your name back, and then you haven't heard anything, no harm, no foul. Just go back to school, and now you know what to work on. Well, you would be a second rounder, maybe upper second rounder if you added this to your game, or you might be actually a first rounder if we saw this from you, and then you can go back and try to basically add that and see if you can raise your value, raise your stock.
You don't see him getting. I mean, there's no way in the world he gets drafted. He's not ready.
No, it's not about it's for him. It's about going through the process and finding out specifically what would have to change for him to get drafted. If he were to actually say, you know what, I'm going to do it. I'm going to take the plunge. I'll hire an agent. Yeah, he's not getting drafted.
They can give me like $50,000 and I'll explain it. All of your stats probably need to be more.
You can't look at last year.
But
That'll be 50
but it's
large,
not.
please.
Yeah, and also the stats, like saying your stats need to be more, does not tell the player what he needs to specifically do to be better.
Score
but if you go,
more points.
Okay, correct.
Get more rebounds and assists, and maybe play more than 19 minutes a game.
Yeah, that's not advice.
Thank you.
That's a good way
I feel
of
like
saying.
that's really good advice.
Wow, did he play 19 minutes a game with USC? Really?
Yeah. Yeah,
and he only scored 4.8 on average.
Like something they might tell him is, hey, we saw that you had the ability to score, but you weren't very assertive. You took a back seat very often, or you just you tried to play a lot from the mid range. Maybe make some decisions about whether you could get to the basket or back up from three. Those are more efficient shots.
I think running up and down the court and wondering if your heart's going to stop probably impacted his ability to play a little better. I mean,
yeah,
he went through some stuff. That poor kid went
what a
through
baby.
some stuff. Oh, what a baby!
What a baby!
I mean, that kid really went through it last year. I give him a lot of credit for even doing what he did.
And he showed up, and he was not supposed to be the best player on that team.
No,
no
way.
And he took a back seat to other people. So they would give him specific feedback about maybe how much more assertive he needed to be, or what kinds of things he needed to do so that he could score more. Like they would be more specific.
Let me tell you something, Ralph.
Okay, go ahead.
Every single day of my life, I have to worry if I'm going to have a heart attack, And does that stop me from exercising? No. Being lazy does.
I was gonna say it ain't that. I know that for sure. Definitely lazy.
Nobody saw that coming.
So I understand what he's going through, but I'm just saying. One thing that Keon says I can agree with, and I think everybody can agree with, he's not ready.
He's not ready.
If it's because of the issue with his heart, his cardiac episode, okay, that's understandable. It's understandable, but whatever it is, he ain't ready, and that's just the way it is.
And look, like Buddy Hield is in the NBA, and Buddy Hield was a 4-year starter in college, and like some guys that's how much time it takes for them. Like it's not clearly obvious this person is a franchise changing player. So, you take some time to grow, and then maybe you grow into being the kind of player that can, have an impact on a roster.
Whenever Keon's internet connection kind of gets choppy there, I remember we used to do Pineapple. I think now we got to change it to whenever somebody's Comrex feed goes bad and the internet's not so good, we do the robot because you sound like a robot when you're talking. I don't know how to do the robot.
Max Headroom.
So I'm just doing this. I don't know what that is.
I was going to say about him. I think LeBron. I think Bronny James is honestly. I think he's screwed. Just because of who he is, right? He'll never.
It doesn't help.
He'll never be able to get out of the fact that he's LeBron James.
Oh no,
one of the greatest players ever to play the game, son.
Yeah.
So it's probably why Magic's son went the other way, right? But there was no way this kid is going to ever be able to get through it. He's always going to have that on him, which it kind of sucks, but we'll see.
I have an update for you, Keon. If you're wondering where your alcoholic street team went.
Okay.
Radio Ron texts in, Keon, if you're wondering where I've been, I'm next door at the Asian coaches reception where there's free beer and wine. My special assistant for the day, Eddie, is bummed out. There's no sake.
I do think it's pretty interesting. I was brought Chinese food.
Oh,
no one told me
about
about
it. Yeah.
Nobody told me about the alcohol though. That's
well,
it's not that they were holding out, it's just they drank it all.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Yeah.
So, we know you have Coach Bruce Weber in the next hour. I'm sorry, that might be the only interview you get
because
the guys who are supposed to be hustling you interviews are now
next
probably
door,
more than a few beers in.
Unfortunately, yeah.
All right, well, I'm glad you're there.
Enjoy the atmosphere.
They're starting to pack up tables.
Enjoy
Randy, you are correct.
Enjoy watching other people talk to famous people.
Yeah.
It's going to be like when we were at the Fry's parking lot. We were like the last booth just sitting there and next to all these cars that were parked.
Big long lines of shopping carts going right by us.
There's a
and the wiener beer.
guy with his turn signal on waiting for you guys to vacate the parking spot.
Can I park here? No, we're still here. What the hell?
I have been at more than one remote that's happened at. Yeah.
So I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Tony Brothers. I'm sorry. Yeah.
See, one of the Smothered brothers?
And no, he's the guy that when you see him, see him on screen during an NBA game, your team is screwed. That's who Tony Brothers is.
That is him right there, Tony Brothers.
Boy, he doesn't look happy.
I see that ominous mustache, and I'm like, damn it.
Look at that. Look into the
Game's
eyes.
over.
There's nothing behind those eyes.
There is something wrong there. And let me tell you why. He says some of the craziest crap to the players. I guess Jeff Teague was talking on a podcast, and he says, yeah, so Tony Brothers was just trying to act all cool. We're playing at the Pacers. I'm on the Hawks. My mama and my aunt was sitting courtside, cheering every time I came into the game. And I was kind of young at the time. I was probably my first or second year. He pulled me aside and he goes, man, who are them hoes? He's like, I lost it. I went crazy. And he was apologizing. Like, those are my mom. That's my aunt. And so I guess he was apologizing quite a bit for it, but it wasn't, there's no going back for that when you say somebody's mom is
Once
a hoe.
you've stepped in it, you smell like it for quite a while.
Yeah. So, I guess he's done stuff like this in the past. I guess Chris Paul, I don't understand. What does this mean when Chris Paul called him a TikToker?
I don't even know. I have
How's
to
that
look
an
that one
insult?
up.
But he got a technical foul for that. And then DeJounte Murray got a technical from him for ignoring him during a timeout.
Oh, boy.
It's a timeout. You're supposed to be talking to your coaches. There's nothing wrong with you ignoring a ref during a timeout.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Anyway, So we're going to transition from talking about bad NBA referees to talking about, oh, he's back. Remember last week we had, actually it wasn't last week, it was Monday. There was an umpire who called one of the worst strikes you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Angel Hernandez says, hey, hold my beer.
Uh-oh.
Oh, boy.
I'll tell you all about that
Ruh-roh.
when we come back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, and hour 2 is up next.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right.
Y'all gotta try that Febreze car.
Just right, just right, just right. Yeah. La 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 la. With up to 40 days of consistent scent, all over Febreze car clips right on your vent. You know my car's my happy place. Keep that smile on my face when it smells just right, just right, just right. Yeah, breathe happy Febreze. La 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 la.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8695. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-8695. That's 800-575-8695. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
You know, it seems like everybody's talking about the traffic on Valley Roads these days. You know what else everybody's talking about? The absolute best restaurant to take your family and friends to. Kasai Japanese Steakhouse. Now at 2 Valley locations. No one does it better than Kasai, where talented Teppanyaki chefs create the food, the fire, and the fun of teppanyaki. Kasai Japanese Steakhouse is dinnertainment at its best, where a delicious 7-course meal is prepared right at your table with flair. It's a perfect choice for any occasion. Choose from over 50 different items and combinations of teppanyaki. Looking for great dining without the show? Kasai offers an awesome selection on Asian-inspired dishes and tasty sushi. Happy hour deals daily from 6 p.m. and enjoy outdoor dining on the heated patio. So whether you're here for spring training, March Madness, or just to enjoy the Arizona sunshine, don't just take your guests to dinner. You take them to Kasai Japanese Steakhouse with 2 locations, Scottsdale and now in Peoria at the 101 in Northern. Go to KasaiTeppin.com. That's Kasai Teppin.com or search Kasai on your mobile phone.
You're expanding your business and need to add to your fleet. Maybe you need another semi-truck or trailer. Don't have the cash? I can help. I'm Dylan Cohen at JR Capital, and we offer no money down financing on new and used trucks and trailers. Whether you're an owner-operator or a fleet manager, I'll get the vehicles you need with a simple application and same-day approval. It's faster and easier than asking your banker. Call me, Dylan Cohen, at 602-834-7353. Or visit moneyradio.com and click on Finance with Dylan.
KQFN Tempe, also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM
and K240 Round Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what? Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Keon Rose is out at the Westwood One Final Four Radio Row at the Phoenix Convention Center, getting ready for the big weekend of NCAA March Madness. The whole thing is coming to a completion next Monday, but Keon will be talking to various peoples. I don't know who these various peoples are going to be, but we'll talk to them. Anyway, Ralph from Harmon Solar is with us. And, of course, you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And I just want to apologize to everybody. I washed my vehicle today. So that's where all this surprise rain came from.
So that's what it is then.
It's on me. It just seems like every time I try to wash something. All of a sudden, out of nowhere. This wasn't even in a forecast that I even had heard of.
So nice to have a little rain in the valley.
I appreciate the rain, but then I'm in here with the blinds closed. I had no idea it was even happening. And then I look out and I'm like, holy crap, it's wet out there.
Well,
so,
I think what that is that's actually God crying that we actually made it to the studio today.
Is it tears of joy?
Yeah,
or
I think it is.
Is he going to try to kill us on the way home?
No, I think it's tears of joy to have us back in the building, in the Harmon Solar Palatial Studios again.
And the Lord God said, let him hydroplane. And then that was the end of it. That's the end of this show. Anyway, so we were talking about this weirdo. In fact, that's what he was described as, the Tony Brothers. He was described as a weirdo by Jeff Teague. But we were talking about him before we left the last hour.
He's also a bad ref.
Oh, well,
in addition to
absolutely
being a weirdo, he's a horrible referee.
But you can't say he's worse as a referee than Angel Hernandez is as an umpire.
No.
Yeah.
No, you can't.
The worst ever. And earlier in the week, we had a guy call a strike that was clearly not, a ball that was clearly a strike. It was a little bit high. It wasn't high.
Yeah.
It wasn't even near the top of the strike zone. It was, between the dead center and the top, but
Okay.
it was elevated.
It was a high strike.
I wouldn't even know if I'd call it that. It was just, it was a proper strike. And so this guy called it a ball and everybody's like, what? Well, Angel Hernandez, he did the opposite thing. He's like, well, I'll make up for that. I'll call this a strike. And so here's what happens during the Detroit Tigers. They beat the Mets 6-3. It was a doubleheader. And Hernandez is sitting there and he's like, and it was a check swing. Okay. It was the top of the 11th inning. Spencer Torkelson was at the plate, 2 outs, and his team had the lead. And on a 1-1 count, this Tonkin threw a strike right down there. And he was like, whoa, oh, and it was a ball. He's like, no, that's a ball. So he just he had his bat and he kind of did this. That was it. Just a teeny little movement. And Hernandez called it a strike.
He rung him up on that.
And at every angle you looked at it, top, bottom, side, he just kind of did this a little bit. It was not a strike. It was a worse call than the one earlier in the week.
I can't believe this guy is still an umpire. I cannot believe this.
Corruption. The fix is in.
There has to be something going on here for this guy to be in here.
He sued Major League Baseball and still has a job. And the lawsuit, I think if you have an employee that sues you and they lose, like they sue you and the court's like, no, that's bullcrap. And Angel Hernandez did. He sued and the court was like, Angel, that's bullcrap, and dismissed it. I think you should be allowed to fire a guy. I think you should be able to.
I agree.
They're like, oh, that's retaliation. Well, you goddamn right it is. He sued us for no good reason. We won. We should be allowed to fire him.
I mean, I agree 100%.
So glad Arizona's a non-union state. I don't know if I could handle it. So anyway, Angel Hernandez just continuing to exist, proof that corruption is the law of the land.
Angel Hernandez, you stink, and I don't like you.
I think that was God.
God's got sort of an East Coast accent.
His voice isn't as deep as I thought it would be.
When it comes to Angel Hernandez, it brings the worst out of all of us.
I can see that. Yeah, we all turned into New Yorkers when it comes to Angel Hernandez. Yeah,
good point.
Walter Mellon says, how is this guy still an umpire, let alone still have both his kneecaps?
Ralph, maybe you can answer that. Why is he still an umpire? I mean, give me some insight here that I haven't
nailed
seen.
It with corruption.
Well, it is corruption, but Ralph is always moot on this point.
No, because he's protected by the umpires union and he's not going anywhere. I mean,
he's protected, but how bad does this guy have to be before the umpire union says, yeah, well, we can't even cover that?
I think this is just a guy that's going to help expedite the
robot umps.
Yeah. I mean, I think you're a year or two away from starting to see that. I mean, I think that's going to happen, and they'll probably do it a hybrid way to where they'll still have the umpire there calling, but you can challenge the ball or strike. And then I think at that point, when you start seeing guys just so adamantly missing and games taking 4 hours because he's wrong on every one, then I think you see him go away.
Yeah.
But that's going to happen.
I got another idea. Here's what we do. All right, hear me out. The Major League Baseball
Here we go.
They
I
need-
can't wait.
They need a special crew,
Yes.
and then we need a Major League Baseball black site. Where you just Angel Hernandez is walking out of the stadium, all of a sudden a bag goes over his head, and they put him in a container like they did on the Blacklist, and he's like deep underground, and they're waterboarding him for a while, and they'll show him a video, ball or strike, strike, and they just waterboard him into being a better umpire, and then they release him, and then Major League Baseball's like, we have no idea what you're talking about. And I think that's what we got to do.
It was remediation is what happened here, and he passed all the courses.
No, it's a black site, which means that everybody denies it. There's a soaking wet Angel Hernandez crying. Everybody's better off for it, but nobody knows what happened. So I don't know, Angel.
Okay.
You know what happened?
Government run agency. Okay.
No idea what you're talking about.
What you talking about?
I think that's the only way to save baseball is to do that with bad umpires, bad referees. Bad, you name it. That's just my idea.
I mean, I'll second that emotion.
Hey, why do I hear me?
Oh, the Radio Ron has
Could you tell him
his
to turn that
phone
off?
nearby.
Could
Hold
you
on.
tell him to turn that off, please? Well, I'll do it. Hey, Ron, how about you turn that off?
Ron, it's time for another drink. Ron.
We appreciate somebody's listening, but maybe not so close to our microphones. Hey, Ralph.
Yes.
What is wrong with your Dodgers?
What's wrong with them?
What is wrong with the Dodgers?
Nothing.
So Shohei Ohtani gets his first home run as a Dodger, and your team manages to screw that up. And
Really?
everybody's lying about what happened, including Ohtani, who now is losing credibility every tick of the clock.
Actually, that's been debunked already, but okay.
So here's
Been
I don't know how
debunked?
it's debunked. Let me take you down the.
And hey, guys, Bruce Weber's on his way, but
Well, let me know when he's there. And
it's about 5 seconds, but
Okay, he's there. Good.
He's here now.
Thank you, Bruce. He saved this conversation. Thank you, Bruce.
well, we'll get back to if he's ready. Let me know because we'll get back to why Shohei Ohtani is just a big fat liar.
Oh my God.
And why the Dodgers are a horrible organization.
Bruce is gonna walk away.
No, I mean, what other organization separates the wife from her husband so they can strong arm her into giving up the ball for way less than it was
Allegedly.
worth? Allegedly, it's all
Allegedly.
it's all true. So the people who got shook down are not credible.
Allegedly.
The Dodger fan who
Let's
got
not
shook
be the
down.
guilty before innocent program. Come on.
It's the Dodgers.
Allegedly.
And they're guilty.
I saw her walking.
So-
Somebody had her by the arm. They were walking her out of the.
yeah, like she committed a
I
crime.
would like Coach Weber to tell us what he thinks.
I think Coach Weber would be on my side.
I don't think so.
Do we have Coach Bruce Weber?
We do.
I am here. I don't know what the heck you're talking about, to be honest, because I
Neither
just
do we.
put the earphones on.
You just put the headphones on right
That's
when
all right.
Jeffrey started ripping into the Dodgers there. So
We
Well,
don't know what
all I know is I do not want the Dodgers to win it. They can spend all
all
that
right.
money. They can spend all that money.
Interview over.
No,
Ralph
clearly,
thought Coach Weber was going to be on his side. Oh no!
clearly we have a brilliant mind with us.
I want to focus on all his losses right now.
Yeah. let's let Keon take over. Coach Weber, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you. It's good to be on. Great to be in Phoenix. And, the Final Four is just so special. It's just, even I had the one opportunity to be part of it, obviously at Illinois, but just to come here, it's magical and being part of it. And I was at Purdue for a long, long time, 18 years. And Matt Painter was, I coached him, I recruited him. He was my assistant for 5 years. And just to see him being here, it's just so special for me.
So I guess you're pulling for Purdue and not North Carolina State.
I got that. I had that gold black tie on today for BTN, and I had my Purdue rings, my 6 Big Ten championship rings out. And that's the one time I can actually. When you're on the Big Ten Network, I never wear black and gold. But today I got to wear black and gold, and I got that mix of orange in there with Illinois too. My time there, so I got to be very, very careful. I even wore red, and then the Purdue fans say, "You're wearing red. You can't wear red. That's Indiana." So I get all the flack about it. What you wear and who you're cheering for.
Hey, Keon, why don't you point the camera at the coach there so everybody can see who we're talking to on the YouTube thing. So now Purdue is sitting pretty there, but here comes number 11 North Carolina State. So I know you're pulling for Purdue, but tell us about North Carolina State. That's got to be impressive for you.
Yeah, it's just amazing. And you look at I'm sure you guys know they lost their last 4 games of the conference season, and not by the small margins, by pretty hefty margins, and they get into the tournament. And Louisville, who they're going to lose their coach, they almost lost that game, the first game of the ACC tournament, and they win that one, and then all of a sudden the confidence, the momentum starts going their way. And to do 5 in 5 days is amazing. I'm just telling you, I had one of my Illinois teams. We came out of the bottom of the league that year, and we won 3 and got to that 4th game in the championship in the Big Ten tournament. And those guys, they tried their hearts out, but we got to the second half. We just didn't have energy. So for them to do it 5 in a row and then get to the tournament, NCAA tournament, and continue to move forward and beat Duke twice in about a 2.5 week period. I mean, it's impressive. They're just, somebody asked me today what I think of them. I said, they're just hooping. They're just having fun. They're hooping, enjoying it. And again, now, are they happy to be here, or are they want to win this thing? And that's what we'll see on Saturday.
All right. So what kind of game are you looking at here with Purdue and North Carolina State? Is it going to be a close game, or are you, because you're a Purdue homer, ready to declare a blowout?
Well, I talk to Coach Katie all the time, my old boss, and I, they were all nervous after last year, after FTU lost the 1-16, and the first game I said, Coach, they're going to beat Grambling by 25 more. How do you know? And I said, Coach, I've watched them all year. They're going to win. And then they won by 28, I think. And then the next game, I said, Utah State. I said, well, they're going to win by at least 20. But I didn't think 40. That was a little bit out there. I thought they'd beat Gonzaga, which it was a good game. But the Tennessee game worried me a little bit. So Purdue, Zach is really, really good. And if they get it to the ball, they have get him the ball. They have smart players. And if they do that and he stays out of foul trouble, I think they'll be okay. But again, what North Carolina State is magical. And if they start hooping and making shots and they get Zach in foul trouble some way, you're going to have a ball game. So it'll be interesting. Just talking to Coach Painter today, and I've talked to him during the week, and visiting a little bit with some of the players today. I think they came here to win the thing. So I think they'll play a good ball game. Now, does the ball go in the hoop? Does the whistle go their way? All that, the bounces go their way. We'll have to see, but it should be fun. And then UConn is just really, really special. There's no doubt about it. That not only do they have talent, they're well coached, they run really, really good stuff. And it's for everybody, including Purdue. It's going to be hard to beat them.
Hey, Coach, you have a winning record in the postseason, which a lot of coaches would kill to have a record like yours, and you have one in the NCAA tournament, but you also have a winning record in the NIT. And as fans, we have trouble, I think, getting up for the NIT because of how big the NCAA tournament is. As a coach, do you have trouble getting your players up for an NIT? Like maybe you were on the bubble, you thought you might get in, and then now you're playing in this tournament that's not as prestigious.
Well, I think it all depends on the year and what you're going through, and are you rebuilding? When we got to SIU, I didn't know. People said if you win 4 or 5 games, when I got to Southern Illinois first year, you should be happy. And we won 15 or 16. The next year we got in the NIT. We went to Colorado and won. So that year it's so different. It kind of depends. Now you have a team that we were the last one out at Illinois one year, and now you're in the NIT. And it's a total different story. And you got to motivate the guys. And that year we won a couple, and then we ended up getting beat. But I am, and I know a lot of people aren't, and they'll boo me, but I'm for expansion of the tournament. To me, the best experience for any college athlete is to be part of the tournament. So why not have more student athletes involved, if you can call them students anymore? I don't know about that, but and then also for the fans, what's the best experience? To have your team in the tournament. And then as a coach, selfishly, I want to save jobs. And, so this year, like South Florida, how do they not get in? Indiana State, how did they not get in?
They were good. They were good.
I mean, Indiana State proved it in the NIT. I mean, so, and even you can go with the Big East. Why is Seton Hall? Why, when you see the success of the Big East, maybe the I'm not a net fan, and I have not been a net fan.
Right.
And I've said publicly, I don't like it. I'm not an analytic guy. I'm old school, all that stuff. But I think you can figure it out. I think the Big 12 has figured it out. I was there. I was in the Big 12 for a long time. And a lot of those teams, they played bad teams. They won by big margins. And now the net ratings, everyone in this league has high net rating, and you can't go down. So, so now do you use that net rating, and then Indiana State doesn't get in, South Florida doesn't get in. So that's my pet peeve. And I want to save coaching jobs, including my own when I was there. So I wish we'd expanded a little bit. I'm not talking 30 or anything. I'm just saying a few more, a handful more. You're still going to have the prestige of the tournament, and then more student athletes get involved.
Hefty Lefty's on the text line, Coach, and says, has Edey played against someone with that Zach Randolph body like the North Carolina State guy? That dude is a unit, he says.
He is, and he plays with a lot of pizzazz and life and energy. And, it'll be interesting. Purdue wants to wear him down. And, I don't think they'll guard him with Zach. I'll be honest with DJ Burns. They're not going to guard him. They'll guard him with, Kaufman Wren and the other guys. And then they'll come over and post trap with Zach. That's what I think. At least that's what they've done during the year. And then they'll be running Zach around. I think they'd like to wear him out, but he can play, and he can go out and make some shots. He's a good passer. He does a lot of versatile things.
And Coach, before you take off, I know you were here with American Cancer Society.
Yes.
Coaches versus Cancer. Can you tell us a little bit about that and why that's important to you?
Well, since I got the job, I made a head coaching job. I made a commitment. I was going to give back. And this is one thing where all our coaches in the country, not all, but most of the majority, come together and they do something really good. And we've raised over $150 million. Norm Stewart started it with the 3-point you made a donation for a 3-pointer. Now it's grown, the galas, all that stuff. But, cancer affects so many people. And if we can have that chance to raise a little money and help somebody and do good and maybe save a life, and it could be your family member, my family member, I think it's a great thing. And it's one really good thing. Coaches, we compete and we do some dumb things, but this is one thing we do well, and that's raise money to help fight cancer.
I think when he said that they do dumb things, he was thinking about this show.
Yeah, you had me on.
I don't know how to take this. So. It's Coach Bruce Weber. Thanks so much for being with us. A pleasure to meet you.
Thank you. Great to be on, and enjoy the weekend.
Thanks, Coach.
Bye.
All right, guys, we got to take a break. When we come back, more of the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Did you know one of the best investments you can make? It's in yourself. At My Computer Career, in just a few months, you could start your new career in the high-demand, recession-resistant field of information technology. Isn't it time you invest in you and start a career in networking, cybersecurity, AI, or upskill to boost your current IT career? So, get the ROI you deserve at My Computer Career. No experience necessary. Start now at mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save.
Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
When it's time for the March Mania brackets to bust wide open. As I was saying, it's mad. The Mania of March at BetUS.com is all about those buzzer beat bonus offers. And when the madness starts and Cinderella man steps onto the BetUS always has your back with back-to-back 125% sign-up bonuses on your first 3 deposits and even 10% gambler's insurance. BetUS.com Sportsbook and Casino, where the game join today. BetUS Sportsbook and Casino, where the game begins.
Hey guys, Jeffrey O'Brien here. Did you know Harman Solar has gone super high tech? There's an amazing tool at HarmonSolar.com that'll give you an instant ballpark solar estimate using satellites from space. You just type in a little information, and within seconds, you'll have an idea of just how little money it takes to save big on that monthly electric bill. I did it, and within seconds, they measured my roof and calculated my savings. It's very impressive. Go to HarmonSolar.com and give it a try yourself. That's HarmonSolar.com.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here, host of You Better You Bet, reminding you to check out the show. Now, why should you check out You Better You Bet? Because we bring you the most fun. We bring you the most insightful, the most entertaining show in the wagertainment world. From up-to-the-minute breakdowns of backdoor covers, bad beats, and the cheers and tears that come alongside them. Plus, you'll get the best betting analysis anywhere from myself, Ken Barkley, and some of the best minds in the sports wagering world. So tune in weekdays, noon to 3 on Arizona Sports Betting Station, 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
The Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. My voice still got a little croak going on there. Keep forgetting I haven't really talked in a few days.
You have a little croak?
No, croak. Voice. A little croaky. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Daily Blender, and, Keon is down there on Radio Row with our friends from Westwood One, and he's hanging out there talking to people. We just talked to, whoops, I just dropped my favorite, Coach Bruce Weber, that guy. Did you ask him if he wanted to coach the Sun Devils?
Didn't get the chance. He had to move on to another interview, but
I didn't know. I didn't realize the Sun Devils job was open.
I didn't. Well, I think we all think it should be.
So,
but anyway, Keon is out there, and it's brought to you by Werner Ladder. That's right. Werner is the official ladder of NCAA March Madness and the official ladder of construction professionals everywhere. Reach new heights with Werner, available locally at Unicoa Industrial Supply. And I looked it up, and that's a real place.
Unicoa.
Yeah, Unicoa.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
and we actually have a Werner ladder that's been signed by some winning team. I'm not sure exactly who.
So, Keon, what you need to do now, in honor of the Daily Blender, you need to sneak over there with a Sharpie.
Yeah.
And go ahead and sign that ladder.
I thought you were going to say you should put it under your coat and just kind of try to see if you can block out with the ladder.
He doesn't have a coat today.
Yeah, I don't have a coat. I just have my 1580 polo.
Now
I know
not
really going to conceal a ladder.
Look, I mean, he's dropped some lbs, he's dropped some inches, been going to the gym, but I don't know that he could conceal a Werner ladder under his
Not with that attitude, he can't.
Well,
it's the ladder's taller than me. How am I supposed to conceal it anywhere?
Suppose.
Mm-hmm. It's all about attitude. So just walk like you belong there.
Keon, are you an American or are you an Americant?
Grab the ladder and just walk with a purpose.
I don't mind being an American.
He's like, I'm an American, make bail. So. Turd Ferguson is on the text line, and he says, "You guys going downtown for any of the events for the Final Four?" Well, Keon's there right now.
No.
Outside of that, no chance. Bruno Baller says Illinois had that historic comeback. Do you mean like in a game or just like a snappy, like snarky comeback?
As a state?
He says, no, against Arizona in 2005. When Bruce was the coach. I didn't get a chance to say that when Bruce was on there.
Let that sink in.
Big George says, is Coach Bruce Weber? I think he will. I think he's going to ask the same question I asked because he always does this to me. I'll say, hey, I think that he should be coach of ASU. And no, he went a different direction. He says, is Coach Bruce Weber going to peddle some homemade bathtub beer like Troy Aikman? No. He peddled the American Cancer Society.
Yeah.
So now you should all feel bad about what you were thinking.
Yeah, Big George.
Because everybody was thinking the same thing I was thinking, what's he going to plug? And he ended up doing something great. I like this. Yeah. I like this guy.
Yeah, the coaches versus cancer.
Now, if Aikman comes stumbling in there trying to peddle off his short and curly beer, bathroom beer,
that's our beer. We get the short and curly beer. That's our beer.
Well, I think it should be. Yeah,
and we'll bring him over to tell him that. That's what would happen.
Aikman, you just want to talk to Aikman.
I mean, yeah, but also, if I can make fun of Troy Aikman in the process of talking to Troy Aikman, that'd be better.
Oh, that's a great idea. Then you're face to face with him. I bet you crumble like a cookie. I bet you don't have the guts to tell Troy Aikman.
What, that he walked around with that ugly ass star on the side of his head forever? I mean, no, I could tell him that.
Oh, you should tell him what we did to Keon today.
Well,
so we were sitting there, we're like,
gross.
We
The
were waiting.
disgusting behavior.
You got it. We can play it.
Turn
we were,
into Joe Buck right now.
we were sitting here and we're like, well, I don't know when they're going to hook up there, but we're going to go to lunch. But we wanted to make sure there's some audio that was running through the board so they could test the equipment while we were having some Barrow's pizza. And I was like, Randy, we should play something annoying. And he's like, I've got just the thing. And here it is.
The worst song ever written. There is no song composed by man worse than this trash.
Philadelphia Eagles fight song.
Disgusting. Just disgusting.
Why can't Washington have something like this?
Ours is better than this. You're going to play the bad one, but
Cardinals
there's a good
club.
one.
Fly Cardinals fly.
Cardinals need to have something like this, man.
Play it on a loop when you went to go eat.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
it was on a loop.
It was on like a 2-hour loop.
And it was just like a 30-second loop waiting for him to come back.
Just
That's awesome.
over and over and over.
I mean, they should have a song
Throw
like
out my
that for the
Chinese
Cardinals, but unfortunately, the Cardinals are a flightless bird. So,
This bird walk hard.
yeah, I'm just guessing by the way they play. So, anyway,
Thanks a lot.
back to the Dodgers being a horrible organization.
Oh my
Yeah.
You really thought I was going to let that go. You're sadly mistaken.
Figured you'd forget by now.
And here we go.
You know how your mind works.
So,
Yeah.
so Otani hits a home run.
Yeah.
Okay. And this gal gets it, right? I
Yeah.
don't know if she caught it or she's a bouncer or whatever it is. And her name is Alexis Valenzuela. Her husband's name is Roman. And Roman is the big Dodger fan of the household. And she's along for the ride, but she doesn't understand the way things work and whatever. And so she gets this home run ball. And all of a sudden, security descends upon her.
Mhm.
And they wouldn't let her talk to her husband because he wanted to give her advice because he knew exactly what the deal was. And then, of course, he was like, well, we want to leave. They're like, they weren't going to let him leave. He says, there's no way for us to leave. They had her pretty much cornered in the back.
Oh, my gosh.
And they talked her into exchanging the ball, which could be worth $100,000. The Athletic, talked to an auction house and they said, yeah, that ball's probably worth $100,000. And she gave up the hat for 2 signed hats, a signed ball, and a signed bat.
See, the word no.
$100,000
I
ball.
mean, just look, I don't care what you offer me. I'm not going to give you anything. I'm not giving you the ball up.
And they say the Dodgers threatened to refuse to authenticate the ball if she decided to keep it and take it home.
What?
Which means the ball then would have been worthless.
That's not true, is it?
Yeah.
First off,
And then, by the way,
the Athletic is a Dodger hating organization.
by the way,
First off,
when you catch an important ball like that, you get to meet the player when you make the exchange. And so they're like, yeah, we didn't get to meet him. But Otani came out and said, oh, yeah, I was able to talk to the fan and got the ball back. So it's
Not
a
what
very
he said.
special ball. I'm grateful to have it back.
okay, so I think you work for the Athletic. because you hate the Dodgers
I
as
hate,
much as
I
they
hate
do.
the Athletic probably more than you do.
And every MLB team has the same protocol for this. All right.
No, the
I'm not
Dodgers
saying
just
it's
decided
right
to
or
be
wrong.
mean about it.
I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but I'm just saying that's the protocol. This is what they do.
Protocol is to threaten to not
They
authenticate
don't-
the ball.
They will not authenticate the ball. Correct. That's how they try to persuade them to give the ball to the player.
That's not cool.
I didn't say it was cool, but this
very
is a very
wrong.
common protocol. So this is not a Dodger thing. Even is it right? No, it needs to be fixed. But they were not told they couldn't leave. No one ever said that. They were just told them that if you did, they wouldn't.
I think that's I think it's terrible. If she catches that ball and she wants to keep that
She
ball,
has every right to keep it.
and the Dodgers should authenticate that ball.
Yeah, this is a sad thing.
And if this was a Diamondback thing going on, I would say the same damn thing.
No,
on
absolutely.
Shame on the Diamondbacks if they don't authenticate the ball for the fan.
Well, I don't think this is going to be over anytime real soon because they're just alienating some people here.
And the part about Otani saying what he did is absolutely false.
Why? How do you know that? Where do you...
they talked about it this morning? How
Oh,
the
that's right. They
interpret-
fired the interpreter, so
No,
nobody's
the-
really sure what the hell he's saying.
The interpretation of what he said was incorrect. He never said he met the fan or talked to the fan. That is absolutely inaccurate. Again, Athletic, Dodger hating organization.
Another interpreter issue is happening here.
I mean, if that whole thing about the gambling hadn't happened, maybe it'd be easier to believe him. But now I'm not sure I believe him.
I wonder what kind of odds Otani had on getting the ball back.
That's another good thing. We should check that.
Yeah.
So there's a prop bet involved.
Haters.
Ralph has crabs.
No.
says,
Stop texting in.
actually, the Northern Cardinal, the Cardinals, known colloquially as the red bird, common cardinal, red cardinal, or just cardinal, is a bird that flies. The species expresses sexual dimorphism. Females are reddish olive color and they have a gray mask around the beak, while males are a vibrant red color and have a black mask on the face, as well as a larger crest.
What were you saying about sexual what?
They're horny birds.
It means that the two sexes look very different. That's all that means.
I don't think it means that at all. I think
it very much does mean that.
It just means they're DTF.
Biology is like the only science class I liked. I promise.
You don't know what DTF stands for?
I know what that stands for, but that's not.
Can you say what it stands
They're
for?
due
That's
to
not what that word
fly.
means.
That's
Yeah.
not what it
Due
means.
to fly.
That's not what it means.
Mm-hmm.
Raven Kid says Ralph Has Crabs is a great name.
You know what, Raven Kid? I started to respect you. I'm losing it now.
He says, too bad Ralph wasn't around when I got my Texter nickname, because that's genius.
That's genius.
Oh boy.
I feel like you could go the other way of the Otani, meaning you could offer something to Ralph Has Crabs to change his name to something that's not
now
Ralph
see-
Has Crabs.
Now there's
How
an
about I
idea.
offer not to block him?
You can't block Ralph Has Crabs.
Oh, I want access.
You have access, but you're not. I'll revoke access.
I'll just keep blocking. I got nothing but time.
Friends, we have a standoff.
I need Ron to give us a ruling.
Well, I know how to fix it, so I'll just let you think you're winning and you'll lose.
He has officially left to go drinking. That for real this time. He's
I'd
gone.
like to get him when he's sober.
I
not
thought
drunk.
that was him stumbling around back there during the interview.
Is there anybody helping you get interviews now?
No. So what has
Jesus.
happened is like a lot of the guests were here earlier today, like this morning. We have
Why
nobody.
Why are we there?
Because of the optics, man.
Free food, free alcohol.
That's why we're there.
That's why we're here.
That and-
I hope there is some left by
And
the
then-
time the show's over.
Also, because Keon enjoys traffic.
By hour 5, you're going to be alone in a dark room.
Oh no! I mean, the fan experience is downstairs. I'm just going to do that after this.
At least get that going, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, why go straight to traffic when I could just shoot some free throws or something?
Hefty Lefty says more players should be like Pujols. Wasn't it him that basically said he didn't care if he got a 600 homer ball? Well, he may not, but the or 700 ball, yeah. I think that the clubs do, whether they do or not.
The players do too.
Yeah, he's just saying that probably, trying to.
I've been in Tim Salmon's, I guess you would call it his man cave. He has every home run ball he ever hit.
Really? Everyone?
Everyone.
Who? Tim Salmon.
What do you mean?
Arizona native, played at
Isn't he
GCU, was a GCU.
Greenway High School, GCU,
Greenway High School.
Cal- Angels.
Well, I thought that dude
California
was a
Angels.
politician.
No.
No.
Tim Salmon? No.
Who's the salmon that was a politician?
It wasn't Tim.
There's a salmon that was a politician.
That was JD Hayward.
Okay. Bruno Baller says, has Ralph ever eaten at the Angry Crab Shack?
No, I hate crab.
Well, you should go get some crabs. And then Ralph Has Crabs is
Then he'll have a valid point.
I'm saying.
But then it will be actual crab you eat and not
Not just any crab,
medical
Ralph.
condition.
It'll be angry crab.
I
Why
feel
do we
like
assume it's a medical condition?
there's better to have around, than those other
Well,
kind of
because
crabs.
you're not
You have
offended
to
by
have
the actual
crabs.
crab.
Well, so he says Ralph Has Crabs. He just holds it up and says, damn right I do. And it's all, they just completely diffuses
So for optics, go there.
the
take a picture of
reality
crabs
that
and
he's
like-
got an itchy crotch.
I will do it for optics.
I think that Ralph's crab should be a dark blue Dungeness crab.
Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, when you got the itchy itchies,
I mean, doesn't it kind of fit the optic?
No.
The dark blue Dungeness crab?
we all thought you were going to say something about a waffle. Anyway,
It doesn't really.
Raven Kid says Ralph has crabs. That is crazy considering he's always in possession of them. Hefty Lefty says used to sit in a chair for his batting stance. The old Tim Salmon there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And
what the hell is going on there, Keon? Are they lighting sparklers? What are they doing?
No, they are tearing down.
Somebody's
some of
getting
the,
tased.
the
I was gonna
displays,
say,
and it's
That's tape.
attached with Velcro.
Ah.
So that's what you're hearing. Very loud Velcro.
Every time somebody
That's-
pulls that, somebody back should be going, "Oh my god! Oh my god!"
See, now that's what we would do.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're all probably looking at you. Is that guy really on the air?
Oh, these guys are from Phoenix. It doesn't matter. Just go ahead and rip it up.
So there was an earthquake today. Did you know that?
There was in New
it today?
York. In New York, I believe.
And the Yankees were out there. They're like, oh, the ground's moving. Well, I'll just keep practicing. I mean, that's cool. It must not have been that bad, right? How bad was the
4.8? Yeah, 4.
Wow, that's
I
actually
didn't know
pretty
I didn't know-
sturdy earthquake.
I didn't know it was 4.8. I thought it was under 4.
Was it 4.8 in New York City, or is it 4.8 wherever it
was
originated?
not centered in New York City. It was centered in the north.
Yeah. So what did they feel like? 1 or 2 or something?
No, it would probably be, depending how far away it was, could have been like a 3-ish.
Anything fall over?
I'm sure somebody did.
I didn't hear of any damage. A few New Yorkers fell over, but they got up okay.
A couple homeless guys fell over.
Yeah.
Some Irish pubs.
Some rats were, for a moment, they were disoriented, but they got right back on task.
So the Yankees, the earthquake hits and they shrug that off. An eclipse is coming and they're like, Earth, sky, sun. And now they're going to delay that game with the Marlins 4 hours.
Why?
Because I don't know.
I don't know why they're
Why are
they have
people
lights.
freaking out
It's
about
just
this?
an
I don't get it.
eclipse. And they're like,
It's going to be dark for 3 minutes. Is that really going to stop your day?
earthquake. They're like, what was that? A subway went by? And then they sky turned dark early. What? I don't get it.
Yankees have to postpone the game, delay the game.
So that's what they've done. Yeah, 4 hours.
Schools are closing for this. I don't get it.
So I think schools. Do you think schools should be open for this so you can get the kids the special glasses and make it a science thing?
Why are they? I don't understand.
Too many dumb kids would be like, I don't need glasses. We got a bunch of dumb blind kids now. It's bad enough they were dumb. Now they're blind and dumb. Not in the Helen Keller way. They're just like idiots.
It's a total solar eclipse. You don't even need to look up to know that it's happening.
Yeah.
So it gets to be nighttime essentially for 15 minutes. There's no reason to close anything for 4 hours.
It's not even that long. It's like 3 minutes.
You don't even need government testing after the eclipse to see who's bumping in the crap. You're like, all right, that's an idiot.
Okay. Yeah,
This
there you
kid
go.
is due for vocational school.
Some children who have, in fact,
Get on
been
the
left
bus.
behind.
Get on the bus. I know it's a shorter bus. Just get on it. There you go. Listen, we got to take a break. When we come back, a little more Major League Baseball, but then I got a bunch of assorted stuff. Did you guys bring back the Wheel of Sports while I was gone?
I was trying to, but no.
I don't know.
We didn't actually successfully do it because I'm long-winded.
Really?
No one would have ever done that.
I don't
ever.
Really?
Yeah, I know it's been a mystery to you guys, but just can't shut up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I thought I'd admit that finally.
Wow. Well, that's the first step. Got to get him to shut the hell up rehab. So, it's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Are you someone who tries to drive while distracted by your phone? Someone who props it on the steering wheel or peeks down at it for a glance? Or just scrolls and scrolls? If so, you could be the next person to get into a fender bender, get a ticket, veer off the road, or even cause a crash that kills you or someone else. Enough already. Put the phone away or pay. Paid for by NHTSA.
Starting with one store in 1978, Boot Barn has become the largest Western and workwear retailer in the nation. Supporting those who feed, build, and protect America, we offer the largest selection of cowboy boots, work boots, Western wear, workwear, and outdoor gear. With over 500,000 pairs of boots and thousands of top-quality jeans and clothing, it's an honor to support the people who make our country so great. Boot Barn. Keep West.
When it's time for the March Mania brackets to bust wide open. As I was saying, it's mad. The Mania of March at BetUS.com is all about those buzzer beat bonus offers. And when the madness starts and Cinderella man steps onto the BetUS always has your back with back-to-back 125% sign-up bonuses on your first 3 deposits and even 10% gambler's insurance. BetUS.com Sportsbook and Casino, where the game... Join today. BetUS Sportsbook and Casino, where the game begins.
Don't be fooled by the people you meet on social media. It may start as an innocent conversation, but anyone who tries to sell you pills is nothing more than a drug dealer. And if you think tiny pills can't do much harm, think again. Fentanyl can end it all. Know the truth about fentanyl at learnmoreaz.org. Don't be fooled. Don't be faked out. Visit learnmoreaz.org. This message is sponsored by the Substance Abuse Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
One of the most common questions people ask is if they can still afford to retire on $1 million or $2 million anymore. With stocks near all-time highs and bonds at all-time lows, it's actually a great question. 2008 taught millions of retiring engineers, teachers, and other professionals a costly lesson that years of market gains can be wiped out in just weeks of market losses. Not a problem if you're 30 years old with a few decades to make it back, but not if you are in retirement or almost there. I like to follow the 30, 50, 70 rule. The closer you are to 50 or 70, then at least 30 to 50% of your money should be kept safe at all times, like in an uncapped, principal secure, next generation annuity. Come and see why.
Call leading annuity authority Steve Jurich now at 480-902-3333. Guarantees rely on the financial strength of the insurer, so compare with Steve. Call 480-902-3333 and visit IQannuity.com.
This is Brent Musburger. Don't miss Betting Across America, Saturdays at 11 a.m. right here on Arizona Sports Betting Station, 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Today's Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Manitoban Moose says, what is this wheel of sports you talk about? Is it some sort of in-game contest where listeners can spin the wheel for prizes? No. So let me explain to you where the wheel of sports came from. The wheel of sports started back when this was a 1-hour show in Southern California. And it was such a short show, we'd start talking about a couple of things, and then, we'd only have like 1 or 2 things to talk about. But the last segment couldn't really get into anything too deep. So then we would just talk about random sports stuff, and to choose what it was, we would sort of tape the different stories to the wheel of sports, give it a spin, and wherever it landed, that's what we would talk about next.
Yes.
So Randy, why don't you give the wheel a spin so Manitoban Moose can hear what it sounds like? So it hits that, it goes like right on that peg, and then that's we just picked that story. So,
yes.
But now we're doing a 3-hour show, and we got plenty of time. We got plenty of time just to talk about whatever we want to talk about.
Correct.
So we just kind of realized we don't really need the wheel of sports.
Although,
yeah,
I did have a great story.
Okay.
I don't have it in front of me, but I think it's something that you and I should do. Definitely do.
What are you talking about?
It was a challenge, a dude challenge.
Oh boy.
The guy had to go out and play 18 holes of golf, but at each hole, he had to chug another beer.
That doesn't sound like a new thing.
So by the
sounds
time,
like a weekend just for
it,
Ralph.
It normally sounds like a Ralph round on a Saturday. Yeah. But no, you have to you have to chug the beer. You can't just sip it and put it in the cart and that sort of thing.
So 18 beers later,
18 beers later,
you're dead from alcohol poisoning.
So 17 beers, and you're trying to play the 18th hole.
Because in Phoenix, with the sun and the water loss that is happening to you, that could be dangerous.
Yeah, water loss.
That's a bad idea.
You're just gonna sweat a lot.
So like a dude golf challenge.
So did the dude die?
No, he completed it. Yeah. Oh, he also had to. I forgot to. You have to also eat a hot dog, a beer and a hot dog at each tee box.
How do you not die? Because listen, 18 beers, that's a lot.
And you play golf while you're doing it.
Depends who you ask.
That'd be a big old guy. That's got to be a big old
like
Bubba.
He didn't look like he was some gargantuan dude. He looked like a average.
18 though. Now, the math on that just does not check out to less than a 2 point something.
18 hot dogs and a round of golf simultaneously.
I'd ask Keon, but he doesn't have a computer. We got to Google what is your blood alcohol level after 18 beers?
In 2 hours.
In 2 hours.
It'd be
You-
about 2 hours to go through.
That'd be a
tonight.
point
No,
seven.
it'd be 4 hours.
It'd
I'm
be
sorry.
4 hours. I was
4
going to
hours, yeah.
say, you play golf in 2 hours,
sorry,
Ralph?
7.0.
I'm thinking 9 holes. 'Cause
Good
I've done that
God.
exact thing without the hot dog, but we did it for 9
You
holes.
did not chug a beer every hole.
Every hole for 9
Oh,
holes.
9 holes. That
And then
you're
we
you're
played the
effed
back-
up,
Right. Then we played the back 9 absolutely just plastered.
destroyed.
And we're just hitting balls everywhere, different greens.
So basically,
It was
uh, I don't have a computer like Jeffrey said, but I think your blood alcohol content is Steve Keim.
Yeah, that's just
Wow.
plus or minus one Steve Keim.
Damn. Wow. Damn. That's serious right there.
So Manitoban Moose is like, oh, so the Wheel of Sports is Sports Story Randomizer and using the press your luck sounds. No, that's just our wheel. That's our wheel. That
Yeah,
makes
it's our
that
wheel.
sound.
It's not pressure luck. That's the wheel.
That's the Wheel of Sports wheel.
Been around ever since I've been here.
The hell you're talking about?
Yeah.
Canadian. Anyway, so Raven Kid says they are mutilating the Arizona Wildcat from the sound of it for not making the Final Four.
Who?
No, that noise.
Oh, that noise in the background. Yeah. Yeah,
All right.
I was looking for a doctor the other day. You know how you kind of do a little background search on some doctors and
Have
stuff.
any luck?
And I found it. Well, yeah, I mean, there's tons of them.
Okay.
And I was just like looking through it, and this one had a big old U of A, and I'm like, nope.
Block.
Really?
Click.
Pass.
That's a no.
I don't want to be sitting there and have to see some big A behind this woman as she tells me I've got butt cancer or something. I'm not doing it. I mean, I don't think I'm not going in for that. I'm just saying at some point, if my doctor's about to tell me you're not going to make it, I don't want to see that stupid A sitting back there. Because first off, I'm going to get like 3, 4, 5 second opinions. Can't trust them.
Just a 17th opinion. Yeah.
You don't mean you're going to take the first opinion that you have butt cancer from the first doctor you meet?
Especially not if they're from Arizona.
Well,
I'll be like, well, we didn't even test me for that. What are you talking about? I had a hangnail.
we
What?
just know we just know you have it.
It's not a great sign when you have to go to your doctor and ask them to count to 10 just to be sure that they can.
But I have a sprained ankle.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could tell these things.
I get butt cancer from a sprained ankle.
You can see the way your butt is hanging.
We could tell by the way you sat down.
Like, what are you, a gypsy?
We could tell you're
What they should have for doctors is when you go look
tell
for a
your
new one,
fortune.
they should have like hand sizes, right?
Well, oh yeah. If it's a proctologist, you want the one with the smallest hand
I want the
possible.
tiniest hands, the thinnest hands, and the shortest fingers.
Yeah, that's when I got my colonoscopy there.
Mhm.
I did. I looked at the hands. I was like,
Absolutely.
this dude has very small hands. But I'm gonna be knocked out anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but you're gonna feel it later if they're big.
Can I just tell you though? I did the smartest thing.
Excuse me. Care to expound on that one, Ralph?
Sure.
Oh yeah, it'll
Go
be-
ahead.
I'll have
Please.
serious pain in the ass later.
If you take a balloon and you put your hand in there and stretch it,
If you take a balloon,
And after that colonoscopy, if when you fart, it's like a balloon, just letting its air out. That
and
tells
then a
you-
balloon comes out.
Yeah, even worse. No, the guy I was like, I was knocked out, so I didn't care. But I was sitting there in the consult, this little guy, and I was like, hey, man, when we do the colonoscopy, can you check my prostate while I'm knocked out so I don't have to have any memory of that happening? And the thing is, the way he answered should have scared me. He's like, he leaned forward, he's like, absolutely. He was very excited about it. And I was like, okay, there's the other people in the room too? Yeah, okay, I'm good. I'm
well,
good. I'm good.
absolutely.
No, I'm serious. I was like,
So
can you check that too? Absolutely. His eyes were all big, and I was just like,
Think about how vulnerable you are at that moment when you're passed out and
Don't
your
care.
butt is sticking up in the air.
as long as I can't
They
remember
could
it.
be coming in, making jokes, shoving things. I mean, they could be doing all sorts of stuff.
I don't have the angst of an altar boy. I have no memory of it.
Yeah, well, that's
zero
true.
memory.
That's true.
Anyway, the Pineapple Express says that earthquake was centered in Tewksbury, New Jersey, deep in the heart of Tony Soprano country.
I'll be damned.
So, yeah, I wonder what it was when it finally got to New York City.
Tewksbury.
Mm-hmm. Hefty Lefty says the Wheel of Sports makes its triumphant return. I don't think we're bringing it back, guys.
Nah,
I don't think we're bringing that back.
it's too bad.
We might use it for a randomizer. You know, to give prizes away someday.
Yeah, we could do that.
If only we had prizes. Manitoban Moose says,
If only.
I read what Manitoban Moose said. Morticious Man says your sports wheel sound clip. Isn't that the one from Press Your Luck?
No, that's the Wheel of Sports sounder.
Somebody's really yelling out. Is that like another radio show in the background,
Yeah.
Keon?
I mean, this guy projects.
I want you to
very
just
well.
right now.
His-
Okay, listen, you've got to do this right now.
Oh boy.
You got to fake laugh really, really loud. Like, ha, 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 ha. So you end up on their broadcast.
You mean like he was earlier? Look.
Yes, you got to do it, Keon.
Well, no, because the person that winds up being embarrassed is just me.
Why would you be embarrassed? I've never understood how people get embarrassed.
Yeah, what's the big deal?
I mean, this room is
Just like
fairly,
that.
What you
Fairly
should do is
empty.
really loud. Just scream gun and then duck.
Yeah. Oh, no, don't do that.
Well, no, definitely can't
We'll
do
never
that.
get asked back to anything.
Trying to make it out of here alive. What are you doing,
got a
man?
gun.
Okay, how about this? You should go just real loud like this. Go, tampons! Just like that.
Come on, Keon.
Hold
Do
on,
it.
hold on.
Come on, you can do it.
Tampons.
Oh my!
Yay, Keon.
How you doing?
Did anybody?
Did anybody turn around?
Yeah, one of the
He just
one of
turned my eyes
the
back.
one of the Westwood one engineer guys
Oh,
peeked his head
no.
from behind the curtain.
We will never be asked back.
Just gave him a nice wave. Hey, how you doing?
I like how
contract.
Keon's sitting there triumphantly with his cup going like, "Hey, what's going on? That's right, tampons. All right."
Mhm, yeah.
I swear, Jeffrey told me to do it. No, I never said a word.
Oh my God.
Tampons.
Let's see. Haruto says, "Hello, Mr. O'Brien, Mr. White, Mr. Rose, Mr. Romano. Sorry to hear that Jeffrey has hip cancer. My father had stage 4 hip cancer, but he survived.
No.
It's a big deal. If you need a good doctor outside of Arizona, I know you're, the best ones in Tokyo." When I didn't say hip cancer, or
No.
maybe the Japanese translation turned into hip from
Could
ass.
be. Yeah.
But
Good point.
Pretty sure you said the butt cancer.
Yeah, it's close to the hip. You know,
Same general area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
a Arizona doctor would probably test for ass cancer trying to go through the hip.
Yeah.
But
Well, there's that.
that's why I'm not going there.
So
Hefty Lefty says Tewksbury, the proctologist, buries a finger. Okay,
wow.
I don't know. If I
Come
should-
on, man.
Right
really?
in the old Tukas.
Oh boy.
Tewksbury. Yeah.
Tewksbury.
Let's see.
Just buried right up in there.
Big George says Keon sounds like he's on the floor. Yeah, Keon sounds like that he's at somebody's house. He's like called his parents. He's like, "Can you come get me?" His parents are fighting. His mom and dad are fighting. That's what's in the background.
This guy is facing away from me. I have no idea how he. Yeah.
That is a very
Just
echoey room.
absolutely- Yeah, and part of it is that a lot of the people have left and they're tearing down a lot of the stuff that might have been absorbing some of the sound, but still, that guy's loud.
The most annoying people who do radio are the ones who think they have to scream to do it. And like, there's a thing right in front of your face. Like right now, I'm not yelling. You can hear me.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Yeah. So let's talk about something serious now. Okay. Let's talk about Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods says he's given up sex to prepare for the Masters.
Oh, come on.
It's a sacrifice for him.
Come on.
Dude,
He's not getting any right now.
can I just explain to Tiger? You keep doing the wrong things. Remember when Tiger was like king of golf, and he's like, you know what? If I work out and I get swole and I get my muscles big, then I'll be able to hit the ball farther. And it turns out it ruined his entire game, the mechanics of the way you swing the ball. And so now, like, he was banging every Denny's waitress from here to New Jersey, and now you're going to stop humping? Hey, listen, if you want your golf game to be good, you got to keep having sex, Tiger. Anything that moves, Tiger, you got to keep busy, Tiger. Now you're going to give up sex. Now there you go. There's another thing you've ruined.
I wonder if he was banging Denny's helpers in Tewksbury. Tewksbury.
I'm sure he was.
Hostesses, fry cooks, anything that moved at Denny's, he was tapping that. So I'm just saying, Tiger Woods, if you want your game to come back, you got to do the things.
Is there a Denny's that has a tap, like beer on tap?
Always did. Oh, I'm sure there is. I'm sure there is. So anyway, I mean, you won the Masters 5 times. Yeah. So
yeah, maybe.
This ain't how to get things done, Tiger. This is not how to get things done.
Well, I every time I turn around, he's losing another girlfriend. I mean, the last one, they had a big
sued him.
A big legal thing going on. Does he have another girlfriend? or is he?
There's got to be some point where you're like,
is he going to that massage parlor there?
He is taking a break.
In Jupiter, he lives outside of Jupiter.
Well, now we know why.
Well, I mean, there's that.
Tiger Woods should be just having all kinds of sex. I mean, I don't think he should cheat on a wife.
Well, he's not married, so.
Yeah, well, go at it, man. I guess it's no fun when it's not cheating for Tiger.
Well, he didn't stop after the divorce, so.
Tampon!
Poor Keon. Just your face right now. It's just like, I want to. I just don't want to be.
Yell at. I'm being judged by the ESPN Las Vegas guys.
Oh,
I'm being judged.
Oh, big hairy deal.
Is that
the hat? Tell them
just to
enjoy the layoffs.
Yeah, they're not reading it now, Ralph.
Enjoy the layoffs.
Yeah, tell them to enjoy the layoffs.
Hour 3 is next. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
We're David and Greg Figueroa, founders of Melinda's Hot Sauce.
Customers say we've ruined all other hot sauces for them.
So we're sorry.
For rocking your world.
We're sorry we craft hot sauces from fresh, hot, flavorful ingredients, while other brands just use dried spice dust and vinegar. So a moment of silence.
Set your mouth on flavor with Melinda's Hot Sauces. Find them at your local retailer or online at melindas.com. That's MELINDAS.com.
Starting with one store in 1978, Boot Barn has become the largest Western and workwear retailer in the nation. Supporting those who feed, build, and protect America, we offer the largest selection of cowboy boots, work boots, Western wear, workwear, and outdoor gear. With over 500,000 pairs of boots and thousands of top-quality jeans and clothing, it's an honor to support the people who make our country so great. Boot Barn. Keep West.
When it's time for the March Mania brackets to bust wide open. As I was saying, it's mad. The Mania of March at BetUS.com is all about those buzzer beat bonus offers. And when the madness starts and Cinderella man steps onto the BetUS always has your back with back-to-back 125% sign-up bonuses on your first 3 deposits and even 10% gambler's insurance. BetUS.com Sportsbook and Casino, where the game join today. BetUS Sportsbook and Casino, where the game begins.
Hey everybody, it's Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends at the Lund Mortgage Team. Did you know that the Lund Mortgage Team was founded back in 1999? That's right. They're celebrating 25 years in existence this year. And you know what you have to do to stay in business that long? You have to be good at what you do. And the Lund Mortgage Team is not just good, they are great. They have helped thousands of people save thousands of dollars over those 25 years here in the Valley of the Sun. They only lend in Arizona. And they're mortgage brokers, which means they can shop your rate around. They're not tied to just one set of rates. Mortgage rates can get crazy. They can get high. They can get low. There's good times to strike and there's times to stay on the sideline. Let the Lund Mortgage Team be your coach, be your team leader when it comes to these huge decisions. Call 623-875-9940. That's 623-875-9940, or you can always check them out at lundmortgage.com. Great website with all the tools you need. Call them today. They're my great friends, and you'll love them. It's the Lund Mortgage Team.
Every day, Cintas service reps help businesses get ready for the workday. They provide freshly laundered workwear delivered every week. Mats, mops, restroom and cleaning supplies, first aid and safety products to help your employees stay safe. They even test and inspect fire extinguishers and emergency lights. Cintas helps keep your business running smoothly. See what Cintas can do for you. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Live from the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale.
This is KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
Quiet, people, settle down. Because it's time.
For what? Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose out at the Final Four Radio Row, hanging out with our friends from Westwood One. We got Ralph from Harmon Solar here. We got you guys on the text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. Of course, Keon being out there is brought to you by Duluth Trading Company. Duluth Trading Company stacks your starting lineup with a higher performing gear all year round, plus keeps all your zones covered and comfy. Online or in store, get to Duluth today. 888-368-1580. So you know what, Randy, what we should do? Let's go ahead. I've got a bunch of random stuff here in front of me.
All right.
Let's go ahead and do it. Let's go ahead, just so people know how what used to work.
Okay.
We're not going to do this all the time.
All right.
Let's go ahead and spin the wheel of sports and see what we talk about random next.
Wow, this is early for you.
Yep. I just want to get it done and out of the way. All right. Well, here's what it landed on. Here's a random one. You know, Mike Tyson's supposed to fight that clown ass Jake Paul.
Yeah.
I keep seeing these stories where he knocked him out in sparring and Jake Paul is all scared. I don't know if any of that's true or not. But Mike Tyson, he did in an interview say that he's training around the clock. And he says, I know it is an exhibition, but I'm taking it serious. And
I'm taking it serious.
And it's serious. So, you know,
I'm gonna bring my tiger to the match.
I don't know. You sound more like Michael Jackson
bit,
than Mike Tyson. I'm serious.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So, Mike Tyson, I don't care if he's 50, was he 8?
Mike Tyson, I hope he beats his ass. I just hope he beats his ass.
I do too. Everybody does.
He's going to.
And I don't know, man.
That guy hits hard, man.
Yeah, but it's just about the nature of who has what to gain in this fight. And I hate that I have to look at boxing in this cynical way. But the fact of the matter is,
this isn't boxing.
I mean, but the thing is, it has the tradition of boxing of making sure both guys get paid and nobody comes out losing. That happens all the time in these celebrity fights, and that's old school boxing.
That's old school WWE.
I hope Tyson gets in there like he used to and just uncorks Jake Paul's bottle. I just hope he just and just watch him just fall.
Well, the reality of this is if Mike Tyson doesn't take him out right away, he will not last.
I don't know.
And Jake Paul can outlast him. And I think he's got enough. He's got enough to I don't know, wear him down at least. I just don't want to see Mike Tyson go down to Jake Paul.
That would be so bad. That would just ruin everything. I mean, I know Mike Tyson is not a good human being, but listen, it would just ruin all the great memories I have of Mike Tyson just dominating in the boxing ring.
I think Keon hit it on the head. That's not going to happen because they're not going to let that happen.
Fix is already in.
If Jake Paul thought that he could actually, if he thought that this could be a fight where he was going to lose, there's no way he would agree to it.
Yep.
If he thought he could actually lose.
Well, he's lost before, but to lose this one, that'd be the end of it.
I just want to see him get his bottle corked.
Me too.
It's a show.
So much. Big George thinks that Keon sounds like he's on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. Is that guy yelling from New York, or
it's quite literally one guy who sounds like the entire New York Stock Exchange.
Wow, my God.
Yeah.
I mean, are we that loud? I don't think we're ever that loud, except for when we're laughing.
We are never that loud. There are 3 shows currently being broadcast in this room right now, and you only hear one of them.
Keon, yell tampon.
So 4 shows.
And technically one where you heard me yelling tampon. Yeah, that's true.
I love it. Well, never going to be asked back. It's great.
I thought it was very nice of that guy to give me a bottle of water anyway.
He's like
gave me a funky look at the same time, but he gave me some water.
It's like that guy has Tourette's. That's
funny.
How sad for him. Yeah, no, he actually pitied me. That's what
some
happened.
equal opportunity stuff going on over there with that show.
You want some aspirin with that water too, man?
It's like, why would you send the guy with Tourette's to Radio Row?
To Radio Row.
Well, why do you always put the biggest dummy on the drive-thru? I mean, come on. Ringless Joe says that Jake Paul's brother is a fake wrestler.
Yeah, we knew that.
Yeah,
right?
he's on the WWE.
We knew that,
whatever.
right? Though.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about this clown ass family. Anyway, do I want to fight him? No, those guys they're tough. They're terrifying, but to regular people. But to a real boxer, they'd both get dismantled. They would be dismantled. I guess he's a champion fake wrestler. Ringless Joe says he's defending it this weekend.
He's a champion fake wrestler.
Well, I hope he fake loses.
That's an oxymoron, isn't it?
Definitely a moron. Yeah. Lacrosse guy says, surprised none of you asked about my bucket list trip to Notre Dame last weekend.
How was your bucket list trip to Notre Dame this weekend?
It was really Randy's turn to remember what Lacrosse guy was doing. So
Was it?
It was just Randy's fault.
I
I'm glad I
didn't write
absolve
that
myself
down.
of responsibility.
Sorry, I didn't write that down.
We have a lot of texters, and we try not to pry.
So Lacrosse guy, do tell. What's the details? Give us the deets.
He says, well, it was incredible seeing Touchdown Jesus, the campus, then of course the 14-12 win against Syracuse. Congratulations. That was a good trip then. And how did your son feel about it? I think was the son involved? Yeah, his son. He took his son to see this.
Okay. All right.
Cardinal Art said, should we just listen to the other guy's show?
Can we?
Literally, this guy yelled tampon.
He doesn't even have the mic on the stand. He's holding it in his hand. It's practically in his mouth. You don't have to yell at that point. You're already, it's right.
Let's get him on the show.
Yeah.
He's already on the show.
No, I want to have him come over. I want to ask him. It's like, so you do know how this works, right? This microphone thing.
You might have heard me. That's fine.
Yes,
looked at me. He made eye contact.
Why are they looking at you when he's screaming?
Well,
because he heard me talking about.
How did he hear you over himself?
Poor Keon.
Yeah, maybe he's a perceptive guy. I don't know what you're asking me for. I didn't expect him to turn around and look directly at me.
I bet they have to replace his processing like every 4 or 5 days. Just burns it out.
I'm sure. Just lasts a week.
Oh boy, making friends wherever you go here.
Cardinal Art says
something like that.
Got 2 ribeye steaks on the old Kettle Weber, smoking over pecan wood, sipping a cold one with the missus, and all of a sudden it starts sprinkling. Can I have a double crown and maybe a weather forecast? Why is it?
Well, I mean,
water falling from the sky right here.
I mean, I kind of already gave a weather for. You want me to do it again?
Yeah, it was like at the beginning of the show.
All right. Well,
the sun is coming out.
Well, then let's do it. From the 1580 The Fanatic Weather Center, Chief Meteorologist Randy White coming at you under cloudy skies, kind of broken cloudy. The sun is breaking through right now out here in Scottsdale. It is beautiful. There are some rain around the valley, but 60 degrees currently. Wind out of the southwest at 15 with gusts up to 25. And it looks like it's going to be a beautiful evening. 65 for the high tomorrow, 72 on Sunday. And, be aware, there are some rain clouds out and about the valley. From the Harmon Solar, 1580 The Fanatic Weather Center, Chief Meteorologist Randy White, back to you, Tough Cope.
Thank you, Randy. And Ringless Joe says, did you guys see the picture? Did you see that picture of the dead CGI gorilla? That was Jokic. What? What are you talking about? Does anybody know what Ringless Joe's talking about?
Dead CGI gorilla?
I can honestly say I have no earthly idea. I don't even know what that means.
Did you see the picture of the dead CGI gorilla? That was Jokic.
Either voice text is really letting him down, or this dude is on the dark web. Hefty Lefty says Tiger Woods he's only given up sex at the turn. Pre and post round coitus is still humming right along.
Wow. Wow.
Talking about Tiger Woods, not Keon. Rough Rob says the gambling happened while on the Angels, not the Dodgers. So please stop associating the Dodgers with his gambling.
It's a valid point.
Excuse me?
I'm sure he was gambling when he was on the Dodgers too. He's always
I'll
gambling.
take those odds.
He's a gambler before, after, and always.
We don't know that. That's alleged.
Allegedly.
Keon, are you getting yelled at?
Apparently.
I'm not.
Oh, okay.
Somehow.
Okay.
Stared at.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Well, I mean, a couple of times, yeah. But
I can see it in your face. You're looking very uncomfortable.
Hey, listen, if it's the guys at Westwood One, you'd make this little gesture like, sorry. If it's a guy for another radio station, both fingers.
Yeah, let's get it
both
beat out now.
fingers.
Let's
be
go
doing
ahead.
that.
Get a gang fight going right here.
We've got your back, Keon.
Yeah, you start. We'll be there shortly.
Yeah. Just with that traffic, none of you want to drive through to get to help me. But so,
I mean, it's going to be a few minutes, but we got your back.
Be there at 8.
Well, we all know how Phoenix traffic works. It's going to be a few hours, but Thanks for trying.
We'll get in the weather copter and be there shortly.
Kyle G says 12 years from now. So my dad was at the Final Four and he yelled tampon and he got in a fight with another show host. The guy was really loud.
Well,
at least he'll have some stories.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's that, I guess.
All right. Spin the wheel, Randy. Let's keep this going.
All right.
Oh, yeah. Nike says they're testing some new uniform options to, now they're finally getting around to dealing with the see-through pants.
Oh, well, okay.
Oh.
And it turns out they found out if you're wearing the grays, every single pit stain and sweat is just going to soak right through. It's just such a horrible season for uniforms, man. I don't know why they didn't fix this before the season, I just don't get it. So I don't know what they're going to do, how they're going to, are they going to ship out new stuff like in a week or two?
Boy, I don't know. They've got to make a change somewhere. Nike has really hurt themselves by doing this. I mean,
so the gray is bad. The purple that the Rockies wear, it doesn't match the official shade of their color. So that's bad. The Tampa Bay's blue jerseys we're sweating through. Everything is just bad.
Lights aren't white.
I think it was somebody who's pointed out that the Reds and the Cardinals uniforms didn't match the helmets.
There's been a lot of that I've noticed.
The carpets didn't match the drapes, I guess.
Well, that's one way of putting it, I guess. Yeah.
They have really, really blown this. Now, whose fault is it? It is Nike, right? It's not Fanatics.
Well, Fanatic blames Nike because the owner of Fanatic came out and said it wasn't his fault. They were just doing what they were told.
Right.
And
yeah,
Nike,
they don't.
Nike's not really taking the blame though.
Yeah, but they should because
They absolutely
Fanatics
should.
doesn't design the uniform. They just distribute it.
Right.
You tell them what you want them to sell, then they turn around and sell it the way you made it.
Nike's the one that changed the way it was done because it was all good through last year, and Nike made the change this year, and that's when the disaster happened.
So now we know that guy is on commercial break because he's not talking right now.
He's just staring Keon down though.
No, he's looking at his computer and
as soon as he
doing
starts
something.
talking again, start singing tampon. Just do that.
I will not be doing that. No,
like opera singer style.
He's probably looking at the station right now. He's on his computer looking at the station. He's going to text in.
You know what? I'll fight him.
Through Keon.
I'll fight that guy.
See that guy sitting right there?
Where's that guy from?
I can't tell actually because his table's in front of mine, so all of his information's facing the other direction.
How big a boy is he? Come on, let's see what we got here. Just size him up for me.
We're about the same height. I'm probably a little bit more solid than him.
Oh, so we're doing the tail of tape for Keon. All right.
Well, yeah, I'm the one who's here.
No,
if anybody's throwing fisticuffs, it's not going to be at you.
No. Put him in an Uber, and we'll take care of this.
You're about an hour and 15 minutes away from me.
Put him in an Uber.
Is he older?
I'll hang around.
He's probably older too.
He's older, but he's not.
Is he older than me?
He's probably about the same age as you.
Oh yeah, I'm taking this guy. I'll fight a guy my age.
Yeah.
Especially a radio guy.
Should I spin
That's
the
true.
wheel?
There's
All right,
never
fine.
been a more fair fight.
Go ahead, spin the wheel. Oh, he's saying this dude's got a bigger dad bod than I do.
That's what I heard.
So the Olympics are coming up, and in Paris, and so they're starting to have little ceremonies to open up all these newly built
arenas,
the track, and the this and that. Well, I guess they have a new diving pool for the diving competition. And during a ceremony for this, they are like 3 French divers, and they're like, and they're playing this music in the background. And the first 2 guys look great; it's synchronized. But this guy, he did not quite make it.
Oh darn!
He jumped up, kind of lost his footing.
Oh,
he bounced off the diving board just like that, and then just kind of went thump. Just kind of slumped over like somebody shot him.
Oh darn!
And he went literally face first, like belly flop into the pool.
Not a good look.
Oh, not probably what they had in mind. And he thought it was funny too. I guess you have to laugh. After.
Why wouldn't you?
What else do you do?
Listen, why wouldn't you?
He is Alexis Leonard. I do not care who you are. He's funny. I fell in the pool. You are so ridiculous. I look at the fall and it's funny. It's something that happens to us in diving. It's not regularly, but it's not surprising. It happens sometimes. Slippery driving board. And there's
poo in your direction.
Sure, my time was in front of the president and the inauguration of the pool. I told myself there's more embarrassing things, like yelling tampon really loud inside of a crowded room of strangers. At least I did not do that.
At least he didn't do that. What kind of idiot would do something like that?
This guy right there.
You can't imagine who that'd be.
I love just waiting for one. Not
I love that video.
Wow.
Just another face in the crowd says, "Yeah, I saw that frog attempting the triple Lindy dive. That was hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
Spin the wheel, Randy."
Oh my gosh. Called him a frog.
All right, so remember when Shaquille O'Neal won a gold medal at the 1996 Olympics in Atlanta?
I do.
And you remember the first thing he did is on the way home, he just threw the medal out the window?
I don't remember that actually.
Yeah,
What?
So before the gold medal game, Lenny Wilkins goes to Shaq and he says, David Robinson's going to get more playing time because it's probably going to be his last game ever. And Shaq was like, "What are you talking about? I've been here the whole time. We're playing a game. It shouldn't just be about David Robinson." And he only played 2 minutes. They only played Shaq 2 minutes, and he was very upset about that. He says, "I was very pissed off. So after the ceremony, I drove home in my uniform, and I threw the gosh darn medal out the window on the I-75. And he never went back for it. As far as he knows, never been found. Right. And he says he doesn't regret it. And so somebody had to have found it. It's a gold medal.
Well, those medals are not really made of like solid gold.
It's hanging on somebody's shopping cart. This homeless guy just walking around.
Well,
with
thank
an
you
Olympic
very
medal
much.
in Florida, or an alligator.
I must be the governor.
So, at that point, Shaq had just finished his final season in Orlando. So that's where he was driving home. It was to Orlando. So if you want to find the medal, you got a metal detector and you start on the I-75, wherever the game was played, and go to his house. So 430 miles worth of,
tracking.
Well, if it's both sides, if you have to go on one side and then you got to check the other side because you don't know which side of the road he was on, that's 860 miles worth of.
Well, I mean, a simple phone call to Shaq would clear that up. Was it left side or right side?
It was
Shaq?
nighttime. I don't think he was so mad he can't remember. You would think it was very soon into the drive. So if you leave, maybe go halfway. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't have all the answers, but it's been out there for 30 years. Somebody has it. There's no way somebody hasn't found it. And somebody probably found it, thought, well, this is fake. Might have ended up in the trash. Like some some guy out there cleaning the highway because of bad choices in life,
You mean on the
little community service?
Okay, all right. Yeah.
Anyway, so there you go. That's how the wheel sports used to work. When we come back, Keon Rose needs to, I think, speak very loudly. When he does, Keon Rose's college basketball dance party, where we talk about the Final Four that is happening this weekend. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic. Get insights into the sports betting market with VSiN's betting splits. See where the money is and keep updated on how the market is reacting. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
The latest odds for the men's Final Four, which will take place on Saturday in Phoenix, Arizona. The top seed in the Midwest region, the Purdue Boilermakers, are a 9.5-point favorite over the NC State Wolfpack. Both teams have not been to the Final Four since the early 80s. Purdue minus 450 on the money line. NC State plus 350 with an over-under of 146.5. UConn, the defending national champions, taking on Alabama, making their first ever Final Four appearance. The Huskies an 11.5-point favorite, minus 800 on the money line. Alabama plus 540. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
With Progressive Snapshot, you could save on auto insurance rates by driving safely, which is great because you're rarely rewarded for just being you. Ever get rewarded for being left-handed? No. You get to use weird scissors. Your reward for being a Capricorn? Cold birthdays that conflict with the holidays. And your reward for quickly responding to every work email? More emails. But with Snapshot, even left-handed Capricorns with proper email etiquette could get rewarded for good driving. So download the Progressive app today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates. Snapshot not available in all states or from all agents.
Let's say you've got questions. You're looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Well, Harmon Solar has the answers. Hi, I'm Jeffrey O'Brien, and listen, there's a couple of ways you can go here. One, visit harmonsolar.com, browse around, because right across the page, they got links to all sorts of great information, like frequently asked questions, equipment, tax credits, even testimonials. Or just give them a call. 800-281-3189. Ask them directly. They'd love to hear from you. That's 800-281-3189. Or just go to harmonsolar.com.
When it comes to covering the high school sports scene in Arizona, AZ Preps 365 has all the answers. Every Saturday morning from 8 until 10, they break down games, interview the newsmakers, talk with coaches from around the state, and stay up to date with what's happening with prep athletes and breaking news from the Arizona prep scene. It's AZ Preps 365, 8 till 10 Saturday mornings on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Every day, Cintas service reps help businesses get ready for the workday. They provide freshly laundered workwear delivered every week. Mats, mops, restroom and cleaning supplies, first aid and safety products to help your employees stay safe. They even test and inspect fire extinguishers and emergency lights. Cintas helps keep your business running smoothly. See what Cintas can do for you. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every home run, every hit, every inning, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. See for yourself when you sign up today and get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem or wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Ken Barkley here, reminding you to check out You Better You Bet. Why, you ask? Well, because we bring the fun, the insight, and all the wagertainment you need. Plus, hopefully, we win a couple bets along the way, from up-to-the-minute breakdowns of backdoor covers, bad beats, and the cheers and tears that come with them, obviously. Plus, betting analysis from some of the best minds in the sports wagering world. Join myself and Nick Costos and tune into You Better You Bet, weekdays from noon to 3 on Arizona's sports betting station 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. So this weekend, let me give you the rundown. We've got the Final Four here on this radio station. We're your official home for March Madness. Westwood One's got it covered for us. And, of course, the time our broadcast starts is earlier than the time the game starts. So if you want to hear some of the coverage, just tune in here at 1:30 p.m., but the game is actually on at 3 p.m. So you get a ton of
pregame,
Final Four pregame coverage. And then the actual game should be at 3:09, and then the game for that follows will be on at 5:49 p.m. I don't know how they figure it's going to be exactly 5:49. In fact, I bet it's going to get pushed, but you know how it goes. So you got the North Carolina State Wolfpack taking on the Purdue Boilermakers in one game. Then after that, the Roll Damn Tide, Alabama Crimson Tide playing the UConn Huskies. So now I have picked the UConn Huskies to go the entire distance.
Yes.
And that is the team I've got. Who do you got?
Huskies.
Who do you got, Ralph?
Purdue.
Okay. Who do you got, Keon?
They're no longer playing.
That would
I
be
had
Houston.
Houston.
I wonder maybe I should be doing the college basketball dance party.
Go on right ahead.
But I don't want to. Because it's your turn to yell and be very loud. You got to take him on, Keon. You got to take him on.
Well, here's the thing: is his show wrapped up. Actually, he's not going to be here to be appreciated. He went.
His show ended at 5:15.
Maybe it ended. Maybe it ended at 5. I think that's.
Oh, I was going to say, what is he from Neptune? I mean,
from Neptune.
Anyway, are you the last show going right now?
No, we got the Vegas guys over there. So.
All right. Well, be polite. They might be mob affiliated. So you don't want to piss them off.
Good point.
Yeah. So just keep it cool. Keep it cool. But let's do this, ladies and gentlemen. It's time now for Keon Rose's Final Four edition college basketball dance party.
I don't even have the music, so I don't know what I'm going to play. Dun, 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 dun.
So yeah, this is
like a bad kid in play.
I tried.
bad kid in play.
Well, I think we were killing it.
I listen. Yes, we were. You know, Ralph's just a hater,
and I don't have the breath to keep it going. So
it's a lot. But you know, I think that if we start on the side with NC State and Purdue, I think that that's the game of the Final Four matchups that I'm most looking forward to watching.
Really? Is this
yeah,
because you got an underdog involved, or just gonna be better basketball?
There's an underdog involved. We've got a legitimate big man battle with DJ Burns going up against Zach Edey. I think that that's going to be very fun. And when you have two big guys that might actually be able to take each other out of the game, it makes the guards more important too. So like the battle of Burns versus Edey, whoever gets the advantage there is going to lend that advantage also to their guards because of what you have to do to stop either of those guys. And I think that they play in different ways. Zach Edey is obviously very skilled, but the thing that makes him hard to defend is his size. He's just the biggest person in college basketball, and good luck trying to stop that. When you add the fact that Zach Edey seems to always know where to be on the floor, he always seems to know what the right basketball play is to make. And then you look at a guy like a DJ Burns who's getting compliments from Nikola Jokic because he thought their games were kind of similar, and you can see it. You know, maybe he doesn't have the passing that Jokic has, but in terms of being able to find his spot on the floor, knock down mid-range jumpers, punish people closer to the basket, I just think that is a fantastic matchup in waiting, and I'm looking forward to that. I think more than any matchup we've had so far, even just because like when we talk about Zach Edey, a lot of teams have to come up with all these very strange, creative ways to slow him down or get him in foul trouble, like Coach Weber was saying earlier. But when you look at what you could do when you just have another big who can guard one-on-one, you open up so many more things for yourself. So I like that. And I think that that gives NC State like a legitimate chance of pulling off the upset here. I'm going to counter my previous mistake and choose the number one seed in this, because that's basically what was I thought there were going to be more upsets in this tournament at key spots, and that did not happen. We had a lot of the top teams, the dominant teams in the Sweet 16 and in the Elite Eight. So I don't think I'm going to make that mistake again. I think I'm going to roll with Purdue.
So you're picking
and Zach
Purdue,
Edey.
but you're kind of pulling for North Carolina, aren't you? Just sort of something down deep in you wants the underdog.
Well, yeah, it just like that, because to me, that's what March Madness is all about, especially when you have a team that's this hot. They were going to miss this tournament probably, and then they go on this run. They win the ACC. They continue winning, and even when no one gave them a chance along the way, they found ways to win. And so you add that to like just legitimate talent that they have on that roster. I think they're a fun team to root for. It's been tough to pick against Purdue and Zach Edey in this particular run that they've had going on this year.
All right, well then hopefully it'll be at least a good game. I mean, it won't be a blowout, right? Or you think it might be a blowout?
No, I think it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be the better of the two games. Let me put it that way. So no, I don't think a blowout is
That's
coming.
surprising, because you got number 1 Purdue versus number 11 North Carolina, and you think that's a better game than number 1 UConn versus number 4 Alabama.
Because it's just the matchups. Like if once you've gotten to the Final Four, I don't have to worry that you're an 11 seed. You've already beaten other higher seeds to get here.
Right.
So I'm not worried about putting your seeding together. NC State, I think, has proven that they can hang with anybody, and they have the size and the physicality that I think that they can play with Purdue. So no, I don't think that's going to be a blowout at all.
All right, so in the next game in the Final Four, UConn Huskies hosting the Alabama Crimson Tide, and I feel like everybody just says it's a given that the UConn's going to win.
Yeah, and you can see why when you look at some of the numbers for UConn. It's not just that they're winning; it's that it's a dominant run that they're having. If they were to win this NCAA tournament, they'd be one of the more dominant teams to ever win the damn thing. So like that's a huge huge reason why I think people are taking them over Alabama. I also think that one of the reasons why I personally didn't have Alabama going this far is because I just have always thought that they're a streaky team the way that they played this year, and they have moments where they get very cold and then they're out of games, but that hasn't happened in this tournament so far. I do think that they deserve some credit for that. And, taking good shots, taking care of the basketball, like that's all part of what this run is for Alabama. But I mean, it's just hard to come up with the way that anybody's beaten UConn. The way that they've played, because they're not just squeezing out games, they're not just using experience to get by people. They are stomping teams out, and that is a major problem for I think a team like Bama, who might fall behind and then have to take riskier shots.
See, I agree with you. I think UConn is either going to lose this game, and it's going to be a shocker, or they're going to dismantle Alabama, because UConn is nothing more than a machine, and they haven't had a stinker game during the whole tournament yet. Like you said, they've just been manhandling other teams. So either UConn comes out, has a stinker, or it'll be over before it even gets going.
Yeah, I'll give you one stat actually. If I'm remembering this correctly, UConn has trailed once this entire tournament, and it was in the first half. They've never trailed in the second half of any game they've played.
Because
in the
they
tournament
close
so far.
I mean, they just close, man.
So they put the clamps on you, and especially if you're behind, like they do a very good job of not trying to play not to lose once they're up. They still play their game and they squash people, and that's what they do. And I just don't see what answer Alabama would have to stop UConn from doing that.
All right, so we know that we'll have an hour and a half show on Monday because getting ready for the national championship, and is probably going to be the Huskies and the Purdue Boilermakers. That is Keon's analysis. So how do those teams match up? What kind of game are we looking forward to, barring any upsets?
Well, you're looking at a great defensive game. I can give you that. I think that the Zach Edey problem becomes an interesting problem for UConn to solve because of how much more important for them their guards are than their bigs. I just really like UConn to close this thing out, man. Like every time I watch them play, I'm like, man, why did I ever doubt this team? They had one really crappy loss in the regular season. I overreacted to it, and there was no reason for it because everything that they've done since is essentially said, we are the team to beat in this tournament. And I would be absolutely shocked if UConn didn't get it done.
So it looks like my bracket is going to be the winner. I'm going to win.
Well, you have a winning bracket. How are you going to finish? What do you have left on your bracket?
UConn.
That's it,
I think.
So what is your total points you're going to have if UConn goes all the way?
Hold on here. Let me see here. I got Purdue too. I got Purdue. And
you got Purdue.
Okay,
that would absolutely
Ralph,
absolutely be the.
Do you have Purdue and UConn as well?
No, I had Purdue and North Carolina.
Oops.
What's your max points?
No, I don't have Purdue. I had Purdue getting to the Final Four, but I had somebody else beating them. So
what's your max points?
I don't know. 120.
Yeah, so you'd finish top 10.
Excellent.
It's like me. If Purdue wins, I'll finish top 6.
Yeah. Did you see what happened to our flight of fancy with the vowels thing?
Yeah, that didn't work.
Yeah, it worked. It didn't work for you more than it didn't work for me.
Well, they're both pretty bad.
Yeah, but yours was worse. And that made me happy.
By like a point.
Still.
I have a question.
You took an L on that one.
Yeah, I was fine. I have a question for Keon.
1 point. I had 26. You had 19.
Okay.
So yeah,
7 points.
Ass whooping. Well, what was your question for Keon?
How do you work for a guy like this? No,
it's a good question.
I was going to ask the coach this, but of course he ran away. How do you think Zach Edey's game is going to transfer in the NBA? Because I hear a lot of people. I like the guy. I think he's pretty interesting. 7'4", 300 pounds. I mean, but a lot of people are saying he's got mobility issues. He's got footwork issues. I don't totally see that, but what do you think?
Yeah, I think that's something that would have to be cleaned up is the footwork, like to being polished around the basket, especially as a big guy that doesn't really shoot. You're going to have to be able to make that space with your ability to move around and the different ways that you create angles to shoot from. He's also probably going to have to like make his mid range more reliable. But I like Edey. I think that he can be, a solid NBA pro. I don't think he's going to be like a superstar, but in terms of
he's a bench guy.
Yeah, or maybe like a really important player. If he can get his game up to a certain point, he can be a starter that's maybe a really quality role player even. Like that he could be a part of a championship team as maybe a starter, but he wouldn't be the best player. You wouldn't want Zach Edey to be the best player on that team.
You think he's like a mid to late first rounder?
Yeah. I've seen a lot of mock drafts have him going the mid 20s, mid to low 20s. So that's still a first rounder. That's still somebody, if you're drafting in the first round, and especially at that spot, you're not necessarily looking for a superstar. You're just looking for somebody who can contribute, and he can absolutely be that.
Isn't he kind of one-dimensional though? I mean, if you watch tape on him, it's
well, by definition, he could only be two-dimensional. You can't be one-dimensional.
No, I mean his game.
Oh, I was going to say, because like a cartoon is two-dimensional.
Well, then Zach would be more three-dimensional, wouldn't he?
In person.
Okay.
Yeah, as a person.
But
yeah,
on TV, he's only one-dimensional because he's
two-dimensional.
Flat. Well, no, on TV, he's flat.
He's two-dimensional.
No, I think flat is
we
two dimensions.
We agree to disagree.
But regardless.
I think his game is very one-dimensional. And I don't know that it's going to translate. In my opinion, he's going to take a lot of work. I mean, he's got two moves under the basket. He twirls to his right or he twirls to his left. I mean, to me, that's what I see him doing.
Yeah, and look, it is a simple game. I'm not. I agree with you. I'm not saying that he's showing up and he's a breakout star, but you may not need him to be this multi-dimensional big man, in the modern NBA, because if he's not the best player on your team, like the players that I need to be 7 feet tall and have multiple dimensions, I need Jokic to be that guy. I need Embiid to be that guy, or Giannis, because the team is built around you. You wouldn't build a team around Zach Edey. So
he's a part player then.
Yeah, he's a role player, and that's fine.
He'd be good for the Suns. The Suns need a guy like that inside.
I actually have seen him mocked to the Suns.
That's where they need him.
Because it's
I squint every time Ralph talks about the Suns.
No, because that's what they're lacking is that big body inside. He's 7'4", 300 pounds.
That's just physical. Like every rebound is his. It might be just one move, but if you have to account for, let's say he's a Sun, like if you have to account for a Kevin Durant or a Devin Booker, you can't add resources to trying to figure out how to stop Zach Edey. There's you'll get burnt if he's even a remotely decent passer.
And that was Keon Rose's college basketball dance party, brought to you by Werner Ladder. That's right, the official ladder of the NCAA March Madness and the official ladder of construction professionals everywhere. Reach new heights with Werner. Available locally at Unicoa Industrial Supply. Why are you laughing? That was a very good read.
That was a very good read.
It was gold.
I was kind of like almost channeling Kevin Harlan. Kevin Harlan says, Keon Rose's
I guess that's what
appearance brought to you by NHTSA. Using your phone while you're driving.
That's where Randy started laughing.
Put the phone away or pay for by NHTSA.
It wasn't quite your voice. It was just,
I was.
and that was.
Well, here's the thing. We were supposed to read these a certain amount of time, and if the people from Westwood One want it, I just leave. We have the we can.
Yeah,
there it is.
Well, Keon already read them before we went on the air.
Kevin Harlan saying, this segment brought to you by Duluth Trading Company. Duluth Trading Company stacks your starting lineup with higher performing gear all year round, plus keeps all your zones covered and comfy. Online or in store, get into Duluth today.
See, I was hoping
the guy's yelling again over there.
I was hoping I was going to get some Duluth product.
Who's yelling this time?
Different guy, one of the Vegas guys. They were kind of arguing back and forth a little bit.
I think what you should do is during the break, pretend you're still on the air and say, "You need to shut the up," and let the F-bomb fly. See if they've got a good dump delay over at the Vegas station there.
Yeah, we'll not do that.
Don't think that's going to happen.
That's got Westwood One people around here. Like, yeah, we'll never invite those people to anything.
You think they're going to invite us again?
I forgot to ask.
I mean,
anybody
if
from
they
Westwood,
haven't said no,
have they been listening to us?
I sure hope not.
Yeah.
Well, they'll
That
love it because
contract's
I just read all 3 of their live reads all at once.
The only feedback I got was the Bruce Weber interview. They liked that. That's all. That's all. That's all I got.
So for like a minute, we seemed professional.
Yeah, and I think that's what they listened in on.
Then you
And
yelled
so
tampon right after that, so that was good.
As long as they
not right after. Like, look, I gave it an hour of space.
The Weber interview brought to you by Rose's
They're like,
Tampons.
We got to do more with this 15-day The Fanatic. I think these are some tampons. Good guys. Okay, you know what? What the hell was that?
Sorry, the Tourette's is flaring back up.
Yeah.
All right, listen, we got to take a break. We come back. We got on this date in Big George's sports history. It's Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save.
Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
It's March Madness.
And the fairy tale ride continues. You can feel the madness. Oh my goodness. 3-pointer. Good at the buzzer.
March Madness on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic is presented by Harmon Solar, Kasai Japanese Steakhouse, Bet US, and Platinum Plus Cabaret. Catch all the excitement of the men's NCAA college basketball tournament on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Everyday Cintas service reps help businesses get ready for the workday. They provide freshly laundered workwear delivered every week. Mats, mops, restroom and cleaning supplies, first aid and safety products to help your employees stay safe. They even test and inspect fire extinguishers and emergency lights. Cintas helps keep your business running smoothly. See what Cintas can do for you. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready.
And get ready for the workday.
So what did the doctor say?
He said I might need surgery.
Wow, it's that serious.
Well, we won't know for sure until I talk with a surgeon, but I'm lost. This is all new to me.
The decision to have surgery isn't easy, but neither is living with pain.
There is an alternative to surgery. At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach and can restore pain-free joint function so you can avoid surgery. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. We also help restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves both immediate physical symptoms and also improves cognition and emotional stability. So when traditional medicine suggests you need surgery, how about taking another approach? Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
In the morning, get out of my bed.
Wake up, Phoenix, to the best new morning sports show on radio. Join me, Tony D.
And me, Ron Culver, every weekday from 6 to 9 a.m. right here on 1580 99.3 The Fanatic.
Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Yeah, I had a bunch of stuff I wanted to talk about. We never got to it. I guess we'll have to wait till next week to talk about the Coyotes trying to buy that land in an auction, and about Terry McConnell, who is suing the Cardinals after he's already got his $3 million from arbitration. Now he's like, oh, I'm going for the jugular on this. And then there's all kinds of stuff we could have talked about.
Terry McDonough, he's one of the famous McDonough brothers. We had him with the Cardinals,
right?
We had the other one with the Suns,
right?
And then then the boring one is the announcer.
Oh, really? I didn't know,
Yeah.
I didn't know there was 3 of them.
Oh yeah, there's 3 of them. And and you know what's funny?
Hmm.
And I was waiting until you came back to talk about this.
Okay.
The 3 brothers don't look anything alike. Nothing alike. Sean McDonough's bald as a cue ball.
That's true.
Terry McDonough, he's a big dude
Right.
and he's got red hair.
Yeah.
And then the middle brother, the one that was with the Suns, he's got black hair.
I feel like Mrs. McDonough has some explaining to do.
They don't even have the same face. It's
funny. They don't look anything alike. You're just wondering what the hell was going on in the McDonough household.
That's why I was wondering if they were related, and I assumed that they weren't because they don't look that similar.
You remember that song by Heart? Right? You know what I'm talking about?
Which one?
The one where she's like, she go, I don't know, she meets this dude and she's like, I got a good man at home and I need you to knock me up. I don't remember how the song goes, but
I don't.
By Heart?
Yeah.
Got a good man at home.
And
I need you to knock me up.
Somebody remembers what I'm talking about. Somebody remember. The whole
Fourth
song.
Dimension, help us, please.
No, the song is out. She's like, she goes out and she gets freaky with this guy, and then says, "Yeah, I got a husband at home, and he's shooting blanks, so need a little help from you here. Thanks, bye now." And that was it. I can't. This was back in like the 80s.
I don't remember that one. I remember Magic Man. I remember Dreamboat Annie.
I can't remember the name of the song.
Remember he's shooting blanks. Huh?
I don't remember the way the tune goes. She
Straight
doesn't
on.
say that. She
Straight
says
on
it
for you.
more eloquently, but basically she just goes find some boy toy.
These dreams.
And he's like, if you needed a baby, why did you make me spank you? That's the thing I don't understand.
Well, I mean, there is that song. Yeah.
You know, mama got to get something for her too, you know. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, somebody out there knows what I'm talking about. So let's go to the text line and we're just going to get caught up on that.
Okay.
And then we're running out of time here. So
Yes, we are.
Let's go quickly. T-Licious, I missed his text an hour ago. He said Angel Hernandez is the worst, but CV Buckner, Laz Diaz, catching up to him. Robot umps need to take over like stat.
Agreed.
Oh, I saw a minor league game this weekend where they had the umpire made a bad call, and then the player gave the sign to review, immediately overturned, and the game went right on. It's smooth. It absolutely can be that simple. I hope they actually get to it.
I agree. Pink Eye says, can meteorologist Randy White explain how the solar eclipses work? Where will be the best place in town to see it Monday? Nowhere. This is not yet
not
Texas.
the optimal place. You got to be in Texas.
Yeah. And if it's rainy, they cancel the eclipse. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah, it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Everybody knows
They
that.
reschedule. They reschedule.
NASA hits the thrusters and they move everything out of alignment. Then they try again later.
Yeah. Everybody knows that. Don't be a child. Just another face in the crowd says, don't worry about those guys from Vegas. If they're connected with the mob, Ralph already knows them. He can negotiate a workaround.
I got you.
I'd rather not risk it.
Haruto
Okay, I got you.
says, guys, is the show only going to be an hour and a half on Monday because of solar eclipse coverage?
Yes.
Well, yes, we're going to broadcast the solar eclipse live on radio. Basically, just for Mr. Wilbur. He's going to go like this. Hey, Wilbur, it's getting dimmer. It's getting dimmer.
Look,
getting a little dimmer. It's a little dimmer. Kind of dark. It's kind of dark now. Kind of dark. Kind of dark. Kind of dark. Getting a little dimmer. Oh, the sun's coming back. It's coming
I'll
back.
ask around and
It's coming
see.
back. It's coming back. And it's over.
I'll ask around and see if we can get Kevin Harlan to do it.
Kevin Harlan. Oh, that'd be great.
Because then you'd want to listen.
Yeah. Ralph has crabs. Says, I got a question for Ralph. Who are you picking in the Final Four to win it all?
Purdue.
And he says, I'd be more than happy to sit down with you and share some fresh crabs. I know the best places to catch them. No, actually, Ralph does. Because
if we're talking food, I'd be open to that. If we're talking some kind of an STD, I'm not interested.
Kyle G says, I really like that DJ Burns from North Carolina State. He's got great footwork and quickness. If he can drop some weight, he'd make a great power forward in the NBA.
And he can make a club hop too. I mean, his spinning, prowess is something. That's why they call him DJ Burns.
They said he's not going to play football. Like, here's the thing. He said, they say, hey, what about playing football? He goes, I have zero interest. He says, zero. Almost like, wait, whoa, were you thinking about it? It's like, first he's like, zero interest. I mean, zero interest. Like there's a little piece of him that was thinking.
Maybe.
Yeah, like maybe at one point he thought about it, but he's a basketball player. And so the idea of now at this point in his life, trying to learn how to be a football player, like some of the best tight ends ever have been basketball players first, but I can tell you a story about a lot of guys who used to play basketball. They tried to convert them into tight ends, and it didn't work. So it's a risk. You don't automatically make a great tight end just because you're a good basketball player.
And I guess stick with what you know. Pineapple Express says, is every segment of this show now sponsored by some random company or government agency?
Only today.
Yeah, we wish.
Yeah, they're sponsoring us here,
yourself.
out on Radio Row.
You guys have no idea how fast I will sell out. I have no shame about
It's
that.
almost like a blink of an eye.
My left testicle is brought to you by. I'll do it. I don't even care.
I have seen this happen before, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah.
He says, what's next? Is Randy's weather report sponsored by Depends?
You're damn right it is.
No, it's dude wipes. Dude wipes.
Dude wipes.
Pierre is on the text line. Says, oh, hello, guys. I was listening to your show on my moped.
Moped?
When I heard Jeffrey insulting the great French diving team. Was I insulting
didn't
him?
insult me at
No.
all.
No.
The guy was laughing at himself,
Yeah.
the diver.
He seems to think that they're going to dethrone the Chinese communists in the
Okay,
Olympics.
Good luck with that, I guess.
The Canadian? The
And also
French?
tell me,
Who
why is this Keon
I'm
shouting
confused.
tampons? The French women do not use these things.
Whoa,
That's
a little scary.
yeah. That stuff exists for a reason, man. But
I
I
have
don't
so
know.
many things I could say.
Not
right
asking.
now.
Not
I
asking.
find that very hard to believe, to be
They use
honest.
tampons,
Not
they use
asking.
deodorant.
No.
That's a place you want to be.
Yeah.
There's certain things you don't need if you don't wear deodorant. I guess. I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time now for On This Date in Big George's Sports History. Back in the year in 1896, the first Olympic Games of the modern era were opened by King George of Greece in Athens.
Hey.
311 athletes from 14 nations assembled at the foot of the Acropolis. There were no gold medals. Each winner received a silver medal and a crown of disappointing olive branches.
Why are they disappointing?
I just got these damn twigs in my hair.
I don't understand. It's the victor's. It's the victor's wreath.
What am I
isn't it?
supposed to do with this? Well, how much is this worth?
I understand how this is disappointing.
Walking in and people are like, Jesus! No, he wore thorns. This is an olive branch, and I don't know.
Well,
yeah, I guess what they did was track and field events, even in 1896 at the Panathinaik Stadium, and we won, by the way. United States dominated, won 9 of the 12 events.
In 1896,
we went all the damn way to Greece and came home with twigs in our hair. Fantastic. Thanks.
I still say it's the victor's crown, isn't it? That's
Yeah.
what it's called.
Well, maybe you can make it something out of more than just olive twigs.
Well, look, we're talking Greece
what
here.
That's
what they did, man.
It's from the tradition in ancient
Yeah.
Greece.
Yeah.
You know, where we get the Olympics.
when
God
all
damn,
the-
they were poor.
When all the athletes competed in the nude.
Well, no
Well,
wonder.
back in the day.
I guess it's only an improvement on the outfit. You're naked, and now you know where they hung the thing. They just play ring toss back at the hotel, I guess.
Wow.
It's ancient Greece. I mean,
Just seems kind of like, man, we drove all the way, and then we got on a boat because there was no planes.
Well, in 1896, yes, that's
1896,
correct.
you're in a boat, and then
you're on a steamship.
I mean, I barfed my guts out for 2 months for this. For
I don't know.
twigs on my head.
You're on a steamship. That's not too bad.
What the hell am I supposed to do with these twigs?
In
Seriously.
1896, you got a steamship, right?
If we need to start a fire, good God, at least we have kindling. Thank you. Thank you so much for the twigs on my head.
I don't know. I think that the victor's crown is something that you would. That was an honor to have that.
Be an honor if that guy at the other table shut the hell up right now.
Wow.
he's worse than the other guy.
Yeah, he's not worse.
No, it's the first guy again.
Yeah, I think he's back
Yeah,
on.
He's back. He's back, but I think he's just recording some stuff.
Oh,
from
fantastic!
here.
Yes,
Yeah.
while the rest of us are doing real shows, he's recording promos that nobody gives it. I mean, I guarantee anybody who's listening to that show hates that guy. They hate his guts.
I'm not going to say anything either way. I don't.
It's the shouty guys on the radio again.
Oh my God.
Keon, you probably want to reach over there and turn the headset down on those empty headsets you have.
They are all down. They are, in fact, all down.
Okay.
Yep.
Passerbys can hear us. I hate this person. I don't know. I don't even know him, and I hate him. So, anyway, so I guess is the show over yet?
Close.
I feel like I'm losing my voice. Here, quick.
Over at 3:00.
Plug your dumb show that's on at 10 a.m. tomorrow, Ralph.
My dumb show?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thanks. Yeah.
Well, you declared our show dead at 3. So.
I mean, well, I was being honest. So tomorrow at 10 a.m., the Weekend Warriors, we're going to talk Major League
Nobody
Baseball.
cares.
Yeah, we're going to talk a lot of Major League Baseball. We're going to talk. We have a cool topic. We're going to talk the power and the power of the NFL.
The power of the NFL.
Now, you're talking about like 120 or 240? I mean, but what kind of power are you
220, 221, whatever it takes.
The power and the popularity. You're going to have to tune in to listen.
The power and the popularity.
Probably best you tell me now.
You're like Larry David.
Just tell me now. Just let me know.
I will say one thing. This has nothing to do with the Weekend Warriors, but
yeah,
we did a great new podcast for Harmon Solar. It was a live appointment. It was Neil and his wife. So you might want to listen to that.
Really?
Yeah, it was really cool.
It's appointment listening.
Yeah, we did an actual solar appointment from them because they're interested in solar, and we did it live on.
That's awesome. It's a way to learn by hearing somebody else go through it.
Exactly. It's very cool.
I think I'll listen to that and I'll skip the Weekend Warriors.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate that.
Wow.
Appreciate the support.
I'm kidding.
No, you're not. That's the problem.
Totally not listening to Keon's show though.
Well, I figured that
because he won't scream tampon during it. So
you might know.
Not during his show, no.
So what would be the point? I'm the only person in the building.
Can you imagine he's on the air tomorrow and he's going through his show and all of a sudden, tampon!
Everybody text in tampon.
Yes, there you go. 10 a.m. It's the Weekend Warriors. 11 a.m. It's without interruption, Keon Rose. And then, of course, the Final Four is on the radio, too, tomorrow afternoon as well. We'll see you guys Monday. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
When you're rolling Charmin, ultra soft on the party. This is most